Gaming news today is all about PlayStation. First, the Assassin's Creed Shadows PS5 Pro gameplay. It's being highly praised by Digital Foundry to the point that there's some wild theories going on. They called it a generational leap on the Pro versus the base PS5. One of the devs has some interesting comments as well. So there's a developer talking, and they've got some interesting things to say about PSSR. If you want to see AC Shadows PS5 Pro gameplay, I will be streaming that later today, and we do stream at a very high bitrate and on AV1. So you can check out my Returnal and Death Stranding gameplay as well. They look actually quite good. So if you're wanting to see what the game looks like on the PS5 Pro, make sure and check out that stream. I'll give you the details in just a moment. We got other stories as well. There's an update on PS5 sales versus the PS4. They're looking strong. Xbox is lagging behind its previous gen. What does this mean for hardware plans going forward? Third, a new PlayStation studio has formed, and there's a lot of fans buzzing about it. And related to a new studio being formed, one PlayStation studio attributes their upcoming game's existence to no longer being independent, which means they've got a larger budget, and we'll be talking about that in just a moment. And keeping with the theme of PlayStation, I've got a game to add to your wish list and your radar that's coming to PlayStation and Steam very, very soon, out of early access and out of a demo state, so I will be showing that to you also. Now, if you want to support this channel directly, we've been continuing to call on people to consider supporting the channel with a paid membership. For $6 a month, you get into extra content. We do a morning coffee segment and a green room segment. Those are reserved for members only. Paying members get into the green room as well as other extras. So that's how I do this full time. If you can't support directly, make sure you're here as often as possible. Hit subscribe, hit the bell button, and hitting like always helps, even now or later when the video is not live. It helps more people find this channel. So let's just jump into this. What in the world is going on with AC Shadows on the PS5 Pro? Well, in case you missed it, Digital Foundry's breakdown dropped yesterday, and it is significant. A lot of unwarranted criticism has been thrown at Digital Foundry for how they sort of position the PS5 Pro. I do think some people are misunderstanding these videos and acting like, well, it makes the base PS5 look bad. If the Series X was up there alongside of it, it would make a clearer picture to people that both the PS5 base performance mode as well as the Series X look exactly identical. It's that you get a significant bump in color spectrum, lighting, shadows. The game just looks so much more different as soon as you turn on that global illumination, which you have access to on the base PS5 and the Series X. You just have to run it in the mode that limits the frame rate, okay? So I can see why somebody might think that. You see these side by sides, and it does. It looks like a generational jump. It looks like you're jumping from like PS4 to PS5 because the lighting just completely changes what everything looks like. It is, I think, a significant bump. This is why people who really poo-poo ray tracing and act like it's just a gimmick, I don't think they know what they're talking about. I think they're sort of speaking out of turn because you can genuinely see here what a difference it does make in what a game looks like and how it is experienced. Now, this was something I was worried about, though, that the Pro would look so good, comparisons to the base PS5 would make it feel like it's less than. If you just isolate the footage on the PS5 by itself, I actually think it looks very, very good, but the minute you jump into the Pro and you see that lighting turned on with the really smooth frame rate, it really is hard to unsee that. This is exactly why I got the Pro. I get the lighting and I get the frames per second. If you're on the base PS5 or the Series X, you can get that lighting, but you're going to have to sacrifice your frame rate, right? I don't have to choose, and I think this is a pretty compelling offer. I think it's going to be really hard for people to continue with the false narrative that the Pro is overpriced, that it doesn't make enough of a difference, that it's a scam. This is going to be obviously compared to Digital Foundry's PC breakdown very soon. The score for this game is doing even better on PlayStation as well. It has like a 96 on the PlayStation user score. It has like a 94 on the Xbox, and then it has like an 81 on Steam. And a lot of the negatives reviews I saw, there were complaints about microtransactions. That's not really a reason to give a game a thumbs down. Also, there were complaints about optimization issues, so you are going to be running into some of those issues on Steam as far as we can tell, which is why it's not surprising that PlayStation's user score is so much higher. The Pro marketing, I think, is landing a bullseye with the tech breakdown and the comparisons that we're seeing from outfits like Digital Foundry. Apparently, The team at Ubisoft isn't done, though, and this is probably one of the more shocking things that came out of all of this. People were talking on Twitter about this, and so Nicholas Lopez, the technical architect, and he's the GPU plumber on Assassin's Creed, he said the following on Twitter. He was sort of retweeting Digital Foundry about the breakdown, and this is what he said. He said, "We went the extra mile for the PS5 Pro and wanted to deliver meaningful improvement with the extra power. But it got even more interesting because somebody asked him why they didn't implement PSSR, which is pretty impressive. Like, this game looks incredible on the Pro, and they're not even using PSSR yet." He heavily implied that they will be doing PSSR. Somebody said, "Hey, why are you not using it?" And he said, "I'd stay tuned." So this seems to heavily hint that PSSR is coming to Assassin's Creed Shadows on the Pro, which would probably hopefully make things even look and run even better than they already are. Given how some of the early patches made things worse for PSSR, perhaps the team at Ubisoft decided to take more time, and given the current results, I would say they made the right choice. And again, be sure to check out my Assassin's Creed Shadows PS5 Pro gameplay later. I stream on AV1, which removes a lot of the compression and it cleans up the image. We also stream at a higher bitrate, so it should be a very good image quality for you. Now, another thing that has been revealed in recent days, like just yesterday, is that the PS5 is outpacing the PS4 in the US. Insider Gaming's article is titled, "PS5 is outpacing PS4 while Xbox Series trails Xbox One in sales," and here is what they report. The sales of the PlayStation 5 are better than that of the PlayStation 4, according to the latest United States sales data from Circana. Now, this is probably welcome news, this is me speaking here, that PlayStation, after seeing record monthly active users in the previous quarter, they continue to see new user acquisition, despite claims that growth in the console market's not possible. And the percentage is maybe just getting started. I recently heard that when PlayStation reports their new user acquisition for the entire fiscal year 2024, it's really going to surprise people. Now, also, according to this report, per the data, the PS5 is outpacing the PS4 in terms of sales by 7% after its first 52 months on the market. But the story is a lot different when we look at the Xbox side of things. Moving over to the blue to the green, the sales numbers for the Xbox Series X and S systems are not as promising. According to Circana, the Xbox Series consoles are behind the Xbox One through 52 months by 19%. Listen, being almost 20% behind that gen is devastating because the Xbox One era was bad, and to be 20% behind that is a pretty compounding problem, I think. This really makes me wonder what the hardware plans for Xbox is going to look like. Their next significant piece of hardware is to land in 2027. End of this year, we're supposed to be getting an Xbox-branded Asus handheld. That, to me, is not a significant hardware delivery from Xbox. That's supposed to happen in 2027 with apparently some kind of a PC hybrid. I don't know what the draw is going to be given how poorly they're doing with hardware this gen, even compared to last gen, which Phil Spencer admitted was very bad. So to be down so far from that is, I think, pretty foreboding for future Xbox hardware plans. We'll see what comes of it. Now, I don't have a video for this, but there is a new PlayStation studio that has been formed, Dark Outlaw Games, with Call of Duty Zombies lead Jason Blundell. They're currently staffing up. His words and quote on this was that the studio is called Dark Outlaw. We've been working away in the shadows for a while, and when we've got something to talk about, we'll step out into the light. He says, "It's such a privilege to be able to work with Sony on a new first-party studio. Sony doesn't start up first-party studios all the time, so to have this privilege is humbling." VGC said he would not confirm if anything was in production, but that they had been, the studio had been going for a little bit of time. So we don't know production schedule. It's probably not going to be a game shown from them in, I would think, at least 4 to 5 years. Now, on the same token of working with PlayStation, the CEO of Housemarque had something interesting to say about Saros coming to the market. So, speaking to Finnish publication, Housemarque CEO commented on the acquisition of the studio by Sony. And this is what they said, saying that they thought about the cultural changes to the studio, right? They did have to bring some cultural changes, such as having to conform to Sony's HR practices, but also more financial resources that have allowed the developer to move to new offices and effectively make Saros possible, as Housemarque would have never been able, as an independent studio, to invest as much as needed for the development of the game, which entered full production in 2022. While the game's budget hasn't been revealed, according to the CEO, it's close to Alan Wake 2's budget of 70 million euros. Now, this is exciting for two reasons. Number one, it means Returnal was so good that it led to the purchase, which in turn led to Saros. It also means that Saros will have a bigger budget than Returnal. And as a huge Returnal fan, I'm trying not to get too excited about this, but when a very talented studio who made one of my all-time favorite games gets bigger budget and more funding, it typically means really good things. If you haven't seen the trailer for Saros, it is gripping and visceral and very, very well done, and it makes me very excited for this game, especially consider all of the great work that went into Returnal. I would love to see them do a PS5 Pro enhancement for Returnal, but they are likely working really, really hard on this game. So that is the news. Let me give you one quick push here at the end. I always try to put a game on your wish list and your radar, and Forever Skies now has an actual release date. It's been in early access on Steam since 2023 in June. It has an 84% overall on Steam. The demo has been on PlayStation since November of 2024 and has an 86%, but it will officially release in 1.0 on PlayStation 5 and Steam on April the 14th. They describe it as a first-person survival game set in a post-apocalyptic, ecologically ruined Earth. Play solo or up to 3 friends as you build, upgrade, and fly a high-tech airship, scavenge resources, craft tools, and face dangers on the surface as you hunt for a cure to save humanity. A word of caution about co-op, though. PlayStation published a blog and indicated that once you pass the tutorial, you can open your game to friends who can come and join you whenever they like. All progress is saved just to the host. It's up to you how much you want to progress on your own and how much you want to progress with a trusted crew. So listen, be sure you don't waste a large chunk of time progressing in the game if you're not the host, because you're going to go back to your game and not have any of that progress, right? I've never been a fan of co-op working this way, but given that it is a survival game, it's probably very common in these types of games. Somebody has to be like the host world or the host instance. So if you're always going to play with the same people, it will work. April 14th is almost here. 2025 is nuts, just absolutely busting at the seams with games. So that's the news. And now it's time for the discussion. Guys, make sure you're going through the morning ritual. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Make sure and smash that like button. That is the good ritual that you should always be doing the first thing you get here, because it does help this video find more people. So let's try to get to 200 likes. You guys already have 128, and I do have some people to thank. You guys are already gifting members. I think, who was first? Yes, Han shot first, and so did you. Super Gaming with a 5-bomb gets us to 61, but then another 5-bomb comes in from Joker Quinn and gets us to 66, but then it's going to be 367 because DK Bager renewed his VIP. Thank you guys so much for the continued support of the channel. Every 25 members, I owe 5 back to the community, and I do need to set that super chat goal. We do something similar with super chats if you guys prefer to do those instead of gifted members. Another way to support me directly, but that also gives you the chance to put a message in chat, and then every 5 super chats, I gift a member back to the community as a way to pay it forward. I will gift a member. And right in line with Assassin's Creed Shadows, we are very excited to announce something here in just a moment. I've got a new command for you guys. J-Rag and Knight with $1 super chat. The super chat goal is only affected by $5 super chats and above, because like I said, I end up giving back to the community from that. So it would need to cover at the minimum, it has to kind of cover the cost of that, because I'm giving back to the community. So thank you so much for the $1 super chat. Good morning, feed. Good to see you in the chat. And a single gifted comes in from DK Bager to get us to 368. So we have a new command in chat you can use. We actually have 2 new commands, !soda or !sprecher. If you've seen Sprecher before on Twitter, they make what they call a fire brewed craft soda, okay? And I'm not a big soda drinker because I don't like caffeine after the morning. I have my coffee, and that's like it for the day. And it is caffeine free. And I have tried all the flavors except for like a couple. There's a couple on there. No, I think I've actually tried them all. And you guys know me. I do not like root beer. And I actually like their root beer. And in line with Assassin's Creed Shadows, they have Assassin's Creed Shadows cans that you can get. So we are happy and excited to be working with them. They sent me a care package, and you can use code LONO or use the link in chat by using the !soda command. And I tried their orange cream, I tried their cream soda, and I tried their cherry soda. My wife couldn't believe how good the cherry soda was. She's tried some of these new soda companies that are popping up, and no pun intended, popping up. And she was like, this is actually good. She's tried some of the other brands. I'm not going to say their names, but she's tried some of the other brands, and she expected this to be like that. And she was like, I would drink that. I would drink that cherry soda. And the orange cream tastes like a creamsicle in a can. And the cream soda I tried last night, and again, I don't like root beer. I don't. But the vanilla and caramel flavoring that they use, I couldn't believe that I actually liked it. You guys know me. I've talked before about root beer and how I don't like it. So use that command. If you buy it, it does support me. They did not pay me to say this, but they did send me the cans, and I do have a code. So this is not like some like paid for segment, but it is sponsored in a way because I am promoting a product. And a 5-bomb comes in from Rissick, and that bumps the line to 373. So it's exciting to be working with companies once again, having companies reach out that want to work with us, and we greatly appreciate that. I do need to mark this as a stream that has product placement in it. Rolled credits on Death Stranding last night. Thanks to you. You're in for a treat. Thank you so much. I got into a new area last night where I have like an anti-BT gun, and I was like carrying somebody on my back. So in light of the news, though, guys, there's a lot to debate. There's the Assassin's Creed Shadows PS5 Pro. There's a debate brewing about this, and I'm not sure where you guys land on it, but there are people that think that like it makes the base PS5 look bad, or that they intentionally made it look bad on the base PS5. I don't think I see evidence of that. I don't. I think I see evidence of they did a lot of extra things for the Pro, and they haven't even added PSSR, right? You live 3 miles from the production facility. What happened with 80s Tees? I still have a code over there at 80s Tees. I think this shirt actually came from 80s Tees. So you can use code Lono over there. His shirts got so expensive, I felt bad being like, yeah, go buy a shirt from over there. They were like $40. I don't know if he's lowered his prices back. He was always so kind to me and sending shirts and giving me a code. I'd be happy to work with them again. It looks like a lot of the shirts have actually dropped now to about $28, and you can use my code over there to drop it even more. I think my code gives you 30% off. So if I add this, I'm gonna test it right now. Let me go to checkout and see if my code should still work over there. Let me apply it. Yeah, my code takes $12 off. Heads up, you can only use 1 discount per order. Oh, see, that was the other problem we ran into. A lot of the shirts over there at 80s Tees are already discounted by 30%, and you can't add mine on top, so you end up not really saving any. Like, he's having like a site-wide sale. What about Into the AM? Yeah, I still work with Into the AM. Yeah, I think they're sending me some new shirts. You can always use code Lono at Into the AM as well. Yeah, we work with all kinds of companies. It's been cool to kind of get back into the swing of that. It'd be really, really cool. It would be really, really cool if I could get a response from Twitch. We're trying to get back over there as well, since they've got new policies about letting people come back to the platform. And hey, somebody ordered some of the Sprecher soda. Thank you so much for doing that. I appreciate whoever just ordered some. Hopefully you enjoy. Thank you, Jay Ragan, for another $1 super chat. And then Classic 153 with a member plus. Is that an upgrade or a renewal? Let me know, because if it's an upgrade, it's worth 2. So let me know in chat, Classic, what you did. The Reforge brand on the come up. I mean, we're doing our thing. We're trying to make this whole thing work, man, and it's made possible by you guys. You know what I mean? Good luck with that, brother. The trust and safety is held together by duct tape. Yeah, Tool, you and I have been going back and forth from in DMs. If I could just get into contact with somebody on the team, I can't talk to anybody over there. Like, I can't get a response. Like, I opened up a ticket and I was like, hey, my appeal's been pending for like months. I can't get a response here, and then it just sits. I'm about to order some shirts. Yeah, if you ever order shirts from Into the AM or 80s Tees, be sure to use my code for sure. For sure. I have not played Assassin's Creed yet on the Pro. I'm going to experience it with you guys. I haven't even turned it on. Right? The new studio has a detective logo. Yeah, I saw that. I thought they were going to make their logo a dog because the acronym for their studio is DOG, but they didn't. I was like, that would have been really cool. Did the Prime Minister of Japan really talk about shadows? That's being completely misrepresented. They brought it up to him, and the concern was, it might encourage people to damage shrines in real life. And he basically said, we take that sort of thing very seriously, So if anybody does damage shrines in real life, they'll take decisive action. They're not going to take any action against a video game. People are literally running with false, just total fan fiction, total narrative. It's not true. He wasn't saying they were going to take action against AC Shadows. So, yeah, I looked into it. Misrepresented? What's gaming coming to? Yeah, it's not true. Shadows is blue screening my PC after 3 hours of gameplay. Eek. Need to get a Smithy sponsorship. That way you can reforge with Reforge. Day 1 patch makes it so you can't destroy shrines anymore. Oh, are they actually patching it so you can't do that? I mean, in games like that, I don't care if you allow or don't allow that kind of thing. Hey, somebody ordered some of that soda, man. Thank you guys so much for using my code over there at Sprecher. You can use the command in chat, soda or Sprecher. Order yourself some. The only one I wasn't big on was Green River. It's literally the color green. It's great for St. Patty's Day. It's supposed to be like their version of Sprite. My son and I didn't like that one as much. We've all liked the root beer, the orange cream, the cream soda, and the cherry. The cherry was kind of the showstopper for me. Usually when you buy cherry soda that isn't one of the main brands, it kind of doesn't taste right, and theirs tastes. I was shocked, and so was my wife. Like I said, she's tried a lot of these other brands. And this is what the can looks like. The cans are very cool. I love their logo. I love they also have beer as well. I don't know if they're ever going to send me any of the beer. That would be cool as well. And they have AC Shadows. They've got some AC Shadows cans that you can buy right now. And it says here, you get something in the game. My eyes are bad now. You get a free in-game item, with the little QR thing. This is my issue with them removing it. Why the blank would you show me something if I couldn't have it then? I mean, that was somebody who got to preview the game that did it. AC didn't show you, hey, you can do that. Yo, Classic with the 5 gifted. Did you answer me in chat? Let me see. No. Classic, was that an upgrade or a renewal? I'm just going to bump the line. I'm just going to count it, and that puts us at 80, and I owe you guys 5 members. We're now a 20 bomb away from 400. That's a great setup, Classic. Thank you so much. I owe you guys 5, which I'm going to do right now. You ordered the orange cream. I couldn't believe it, man. I tried it with a little bit of coconut rum as well, and holy mackerel, it was good. Like I said, it's like cream soda. And 3 more orders came in for Sprecher. Holy crap. Maybe we should make some soda. You guys haven't been ordering the coffee, but you'll order soda. All right. Maybe you guys are more into soda than coffee. Maybe we've got a new a new pursuit for Reforge. I'm just kidding. Obviously, it's fun. I'm happy to work. With Sprecher. It was an upgrade. Okay, I counted it as a double, Classic. Thank you. Had to plug in my PC to get back into this great community. Love y'all. So effing level-headed. Thank you, Classic. I appreciate that very, very much. That's very, very kind. And a member plus comes from Mike S. and he says, keep on keeping on. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate that. Real gamers only drink Mountain Dew. And VIP from Salty Gamer bumps us to 382. Make sure you guys are smashing the like button. We've got a nice strong start today. We will be playing Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay on my PS5 Pro in a second stream today. We're also co-streaming the Future Game Show this evening, so make sure you're here for that. Lots of great coverage for you today. This is the reason that we've been asking folks to support the channel directly. We make a ton of content. I do this full time, and it's because of direct support. So when you do that $6 a month, you're basically buying a cup of coffee every month, and it helps me do this every day. If you can't afford it, hopefully you get it gifted. B. Carter is legit with 20 months at a membership light. Announcement that I'm going to finally pay for my own membership. You really earned it for me. I want to support. I appreciate that so much, B. Carter. I want more folks to catch that vision, B. Carter. Thank you so much. And then Jaggy with 43 months in a VIP. They messed up with our inverted controls. What are you talking about? I saw somebody talking about, what do you mean they messed up inverted controls? In Assassin's Creed Shadows? The game is crashing my PC, by the way. I have a 4090 and an i9 14900, so it shouldn't be crashing, but I ordered the collector's edition for my PS5 Pro. What's the problem with inverted in Shadows? Is it just not working? Am I not going to be able to play the dadgum game? How do you mess up inverted camera? Observe mode doesn't have inverted? What's observe mode? What is that? Is that when you're in the bird or whatever? one of the games, the previous games, you had like a bird. You're an inverted user, judging hardcore. Hollow Judgment with 33 months. My wife's going to kill me when she sees all the soda I just ordered. Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, hopefully she likes it and she won't scold you too bad. Thank you for that renewal very, very much. Oh, you just look now without a bird? I feel like the same thing happened with the previous Assassin's Creeds where, like, inverted didn't count. And then 2 more orders of soda. You guys are going insane. Thank you so much. Holy crap. And hey, somebody ordered some coffee. Rygen ordered 3 bags of dark roast. 3 bags of dark roast. Thank you so much. Hang on. Hang on 1 second. What is this that you're sending me, Brooklyn? A key gameplay distinction between Saros and Returnal is permanent resources and progression, making everything in death valuable. Oh, yeah. We already knew that from the blog post when Saros first got revealed. Thanks for putting that on my radar, though. Yeah, AC Shadows has climbed to 40,000 to 40,000. Wait, there is soda. Yeah, we are working with a soda company now. Sprecher sent me a bunch of their stuff. They also do beer. They've got an Assassin's Creed Shadows can with a little QR code on it. You get some items in the game if you order that. And I'm not a soda drinker, mainly because I don't want to drink caffeine later in the day, and it all doesn't have caffeine. So they sent me a package, and I liked it all, and I couldn't believe it, because I'm, like, not really a soda drinker. You guys know me. I've joked about how much I don't like root beer, and I even like their root beer. Their green one, it's, like, called Green River. It's supposed to be like their Sprite. That was the only one I didn't really like, but I loved the rest. The cherry was really good. And, again, I'm not going to get into naming other brands here, but my wife has tried a lot of the other soda brands that are out there, like the non-traditional ones, like a lot of the women, you know, influencers on Instagram and stuff are promoting, and she's like, they never taste good, and she's like, this is good. Even she was surprised at how good the cherry soda was. The orange cream tastes like a creamsicle in a can. It's really good stuff. One of my local supermarkets carries this stuff. If I walk in and yell Lono, will I get the discount? No, I don't think so. B. Carter says, I swear I'm not that slow, but there's no option in any of these things to go from gifted to paid. Can you drop a link directly? Do I have to go through a website? It's much easier to do if you get on a PC. It's really hard to do on the phone. If you're on iPhone or Android, you go to my channel, slide over to the tab that says membership, and there should be an upgrade button there. If it's not working, you got to try it on a desktop. Soda from South Africa is so good. You just got some? Yeah, so this soda sadly only ships it doesn't ship overseas, sadly. So if you guys are not in North America, I don't think you can order it. Just bought me some. Thank you. Android's really easy. I think you guys are going so insane with the orders that, like, it can't even keep up. It literally can't even keep up. It's telling me that it's already been used 12 times. So that's kind of insane. So thank you guys so much for going that crazy. I did not expect this level of reception to working with this company. I knew of them, and I knew the person that was in charge because I had worked with her before. She was in charge of, like, the community stuff, and I reached out. They're going to like you. We also work with Gamer Advantage, and we were one of their biggest activations ever. And, like, we gave them the most orders in a single day that they'd ever gotten. I was told that by the former CEO. Brooklyn says if you use iPhone, use Safari. Guys, if you're tuning in, thanks so much for being here. There's a lot to discuss. We're not just talking about soda. But there's a lot to discuss. The, AC Shadows on the PS5 Pro, the comparisons, people are getting pretty upset about it. There's some odd... FSR 4 is amazing in Shadows. It's crazy. It didn't ship with it. I'm not sure what you mean. But there's some people claiming that the comparisons are underhanded or something, or like they made the base PS5 look bad. The score for Assassin's Creed Shadows just went up on PlayStation from the users. This was a 4.79. It is now a 4.8. people are telling me that like these review scores shouldn't be that heavily considered. I completely disagree. I think early user response is sometimes a really, really good and helpful indicator. It does have an 81% on Steam. A lot of the negative reviews I saw on Steam seem to be coming from optimization and or tech issues. So no diet or sugar-free. No, sorry, there's no diet or sugar-free. There's a low calorie option somewhere on that. 2 more orders of the soda. Holy cow! Thank you guys so much. My goodness, they're gonna be very excited. They're gonna be very excited. Thank you guys so much for the insane support. Whenever we get to work with companies like this, it's really helpful to what I do. You probably saw my review. Did I see your review? There was somebody who didn't even change their review. They had tweaked some things and like turned HDR off, and they had gotten the frame rate to stabilize, but they didn't change their review from a thumbs down. They left it as a thumbs down. Assassin's Creed is a match with the Templar Assassin. Brooklyn says, we have a lot of soda drinkers here. Yeah, apparently we have a lot of soda drinkers here, and that's exciting. I didn't know that. I thought maybe that's why you guys aren't ordering the coffee. Maybe you guys are a bunch of like early morning soda drinkers. So I hope you guys enjoy. I really, really do. I'd love to have them send me some more stuff. They also have just the syrup. So my wife's got one of those things. I got it for her I think it was a birthday. Was it a birthday? I think it was her birthday. I got her one of those things that'll carbonate water. And she loves it, and she gets like the little flavor things. We can get those flavor things from Sprecher, and then we can just make our own soda. Yeah, it's a soda stream. Yeah, she loves it. It's awesome. So, and a gifted member comes in from Gambit Zero, and he puts us in a really nice spot there at 385. A really quick 5-bomb train would get us to 400. Three quick 5-bombs. And there it is. Gambit Zero's going to try and start the 5-bomb train, or maybe he's setting up a 10-bomb dunker. I don't know what he's doing, but I think he's out here trying to fish to get us to 400. Thank you so much, Gambit. Yeah, you can order a whole keg. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Need a light on the soda can. Can barely see it. Sorry. Maybe if I turn it around like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard because of the lighting in the room. I can't get it any closer. I'm not gonna sit here and hold it. Maybe I can set it on it. No, you can't. Maybe I can set it here. No, you can't do it. Sorry, boys. That's the best I can do. I don't have like a little light to put over here. Here, I'll use my phone. You know what I'm saying? We'll put a little spotlight on it with my phone. Here, ready? There. It needs to be a little less direct. We do. We just need a little desk light to put stuff there, right? I wonder how it looks when we do that with the coffee. Yeah, we need to do that with the coffee. I'll use my iPhone. There we go. There. We need to put it on the spinner again. It's all backwards for me. My head's not wearing RGB. Yeah, I've got RGB uplights, but they'd be way too bright to put up on the desk. The new Xbox Prime console just leaked. Sure it did. Get up and put it on the chair. Get up and put it on a chair. The streamer doesn't matter. That's right. All that matters is the soda. That's all that matters right now. It's reflecting down. There we go. You think 33 Immortals is getting overshadows? Well, I mean, I don't necessarily think any small game is gonna have to take that risk, right? You're gonna have to just release your game and hope for the best. That's always going to be, a potential issue that somebody's gonna step on you, right? I do think launching at the exact same time as an Assassin's Creed game is probably ill-advised, I would say. I would say that's ill-advised. So, but what are you going to do? They've got their own timeline. They've got their own stuff that they're trying to do. So, it's hard to fault them and act like, well, yeah, you shouldn't have released your game, bro. You know what I mean? Like there's something to be said for the timing of something like that. If they internally had everything set and ready to go, and they've got their own deals, and they've got their own marketing, and they've got their own sort of plans. You can't just be like, yeah, we got to wait now. You know what I'm saying? Insomniac Black. Man's got a soda sponsorship. Moving on up in the YouTube streets. Congrats. Thank you so much, Insomniac Black. I appreciate that very, very much. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And thank you guys for 200 likes. We're going to have a huge day. I'm really excited to play Assassin's Creed Shadows with you guys. I haven't touched it. It's installed on my Pro. It's ready to go. It is ready to go. And then this afternoon/evening, we will be co-streaming the Future Game Show hosted by Nolan North and Jennifer English, which you couldn't ask for two nicer, better-looking people. Like, they're both so great and so charming, and I'm excited to see them hosting yet again. So we will be co-streaming that. We really like working with Future Game Show. They have sent me stuff before, so I enjoy working with them. I am one of the official co-streamers, so a really nice day, a really big day for what we try to do here, which is we try to cover games and give you guys a great place to hang out every day. No, Assassin's Creed Shadows does not have PSSR yet, and a $5 super chat from Alapart. Congrats on working with Sprecher. Exciting day indeed. Thank you guys so much. Now all I need is Dan Clancy from Twitch to reply to me and get me back over there on Twitch and start letting people come back. And 2 more orders of soda just came. 3 more orders of the soda just came in, and an order of coffee. Thank you so much, DE, for ordering a triple threat and a tumbler. You ordered a tumbler, so this man's ordering some merch. This man ordering some merch and some coffee. You guys are going crazy right now. You're ordering coffee, you're ordering soda, you're ordering merch. Thank you so much. He's busy running Clancyville. I just need somebody that can DM him. You know what I mean? I just need somebody that can get a direct line of connection to him, because it's really hard. I know he's incredibly busy. I know, I get it. I totally get it. Like, I'm trying to be patient, but I'm also like, you know, can anybody give me a warm handshake here in a DM so that I can have more direct line communication here, so we can just have an easier back and forth? I talked to my guy. I know about that. He said Trust and Safety just laid off a ton of people the last few months. Your ticket's probably way backlogged. Oh, well, there you go. That might explain it. It's just literally been stuck pending for months. And they are unbanning people who have been unbanned for like a really long time. I've been seeing people getting unbanned from like 1 to 3 year periods, and it's like, well, it's been 5 years for me. So like, can we, let's just put this all behind us. Like, what are we doing? Oh gosh, Pacific Soda is anti-consumer. It is. It's anti-consumer. You can only order the Sprecher soda from Sprecher's website. So thank you guys so much for continuing to support what we do here. And when we get these types of sponsored deals and you guys support it, it's extremely helpful to what we do. It really is. The Twitter grifters are crashing out over Shadows. What's interesting to me too is I don't know what they're going to do if it continues to climb. It just continues to go up on the Steam charts. It went from like 30 to 36,000 to 40 to now it's at 41,000. The peak just keeps going up like every hour. Lona, what's a Led Zeppelin? Anyways, I like the shirt. Thank you. 5 years. You should have a teardrop tat by now. Stop it. So yeah, I think they're going to really struggle with the narrative here. Like, what are you going to say to this? 41,000 and climbing on Steam, and the users on PlayStation are giving it a 4.8. Oh, these are really early reviews. That's fine. We can check these reviews in a week. And you know what? I've watched user reviews like this before, okay? And if you want to try to claim that these scores trend high, let me just show you Star Wars Outlaws. No, they don't. Star Wars Outlaws got brutalized deservingly. 14,000, and it got a 3.8. This is a 76. This is a 96. This is a 20-point spread. Now, I know, it's only 2.6 thousand ratings. But, like, look. This only got 14,000. This didn't even get that many because it didn't do well. This game did not perform well. This game is off to a fantastic start. So let the haters hate and the grifters grift. The truth is just going to stand on its own. These games, I literally told you guys that these folks were going to pick bad targets. And we've got our 4th game in a row that they were like, yep, going to go woke, go broke because you're not making games for us. Your game's going to fail. Doesn't look like it's failing to me. It was at the top of pre-order charts. Let's go to Steam top sellers and see if it's up there. Let's see. Let's go to Steam top sellers. And there you go. Not surprising at all. In the number 1 spot. It's in the number 1 spot. It was in the number 2 spot yesterday. Day before that, it was in the number 5 spot. So it's been hanging out in the top 5 for 3 days running, and now it's in the number 1 spot on Steam. And this is typical of a brand new game. This is typical of a brand new game, but it was hanging out here for the days leading up. And if it stays there, the user score on Steam is not quite as strong. It's at 81. It does seem to be related to tech issues. It does. But an 81 is probably going to help it. Does that say up 45 spots? Yes, it's moved up 45 spots, which isn't exactly true. It's not exactly true, because yesterday it was in 2nd place, and the day before that it was in 5th place. Prior to this week, it's probably why it's ranking it that way. Let's go top sellers, not just United States. Can we go top sellers globe? Let's go global top sellers. Look at that. Look at that. Top sellers global on Steam, up from 36th place. There we go. Not just in America. This is the globe, above Counter-Strike 2. Go woke, go broke, boys. You know, it's clearly it's clearly on the road to flopping and failing and not doing well. It's just it's crashing and burning. You know, they were going to take gaming back, and they were really going to show these studios what's what. Oh wow, the terrifying mauling on Twitter and but the like. Remember the like ratio? Oh, but the like ratio on the YouTube videos. Yeah. Man, it's really hurting it. But the like ratio, though, you know, we brigaded against it and encouraged people that are probably never even interested in it or were never even going to buy it to go downvote on the video, because it makes you feel good to be part of something bigger than yourself. And so a movement like this generally emboldens people to do something about a game that they weren't even really in the market for or weren't even the target audience. But yeah, we're going to hurt the game with that behavior. Sure. You sure did. You sure did. You really heard it. A lot of the bigger channels that talk about that stuff said it would sell well. I'm not on Twitter, so I don't see takes like that. I think people really, really wanted it to be poorly. The change in rank indicators on Steam's top sellers list are based on weighted revenue system that emphasizes recent sales. Specifically for each game, Steam aggregates all player spending from the trailing 24 hours and assigns additional weight to spending in the last 3 hours. So what would that mean, Zubair? It's not just in the top spot, but it is... What would that mean then? It says change in... No, look. Change in this game's rank since last week. It's showing us where it was last week. Yeah, that would make sense, because like I said, it was in 5th, then 2nd, then 1st. So it doesn't seem to be updating that green arrow day to day or hour to hour. It's got a 4.6 on Xbox, all 302 reviews. Yeah, the number of reviews on Xbox is always really, really low in comparison to PlayStation. If you guys are just tuning in and you're enjoying the show, make sure you hit subscribe. That ensures that you'll never miss my content. Hit subscribe, hit the bell button. I do a live commentary podcast show like this every day. We'll also be doing Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay on the PS5 Pro. And another order of the soda from Sprecher. If you guys didn't see it, we are now working with them, and it does support me if you use my link or the command in chat. You guys have gone absolutely insane. I don't know if we've ever had this many orders on an activation with the company. 16 orders already. Jiminy Christmas. Thank you guys so much. I don't know what to say. It's so encouraging to activate with a company and to get that level of support. They just got really, really lucky and high on their supply with Suicide Squad and Concord. I said that, James. I said that. I said you guys had easy targets last year with Kill the Justice League and Concord. And I said, I nailed this. I hit a bullseye on this. I said they're going to pick bad targets in 2025, and they are striking out. And I love to see it. I think it's wonderful. The quicker they get out of gaming commentary, the better. $5 super chat from Noberto. Just ordered the variety pack. Keep hating grifters. We'll be over here sipping our coffee, drinking our sody pops, and listening to the Best Gaming Podcast. Thank you, Insomniac Black, with a VIP for 4 months. As a classic AC mega fan, I'm really hoping that it makes me love Assassin's Creed. Again, my love for Assassin's Creed has been on a steady decline ever since Syndicate. Hearing how well it's selling gives me hope. I hope you enjoy it, Insomniac Black. You did a super chat. Did I read it? I did read it. Thank you so much, Insomniac Black. You've been in my corner for a while, man. I appreciate it. Every once in a while, I see your vids on TikTok, and I'm like, look at this. I gotta have you. We gotta do that thing on Thursdays where I have people on. I gotta have you on. You got good energy. I think it'd be funny. I think we could have a good time. Preach Brother got a variety pack and the Assassin's Creed pack. Well, thank you guys so much. What do the Helldivers devs say? I don't know. I saw him commentating on Twitter and saying that his words were being largely misrepresented. So, it wouldn't surprise me at all. It wouldn't. Another one. Thank you, Lone Wolf. Thank you, Lone Wolf, for ordering some of the soda. You guys are crushing it. You guys are absolutely crushing it. My email won't stop. This is like ding, 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 ding. So, yeah, the commentary from the CEO or the former CEO of Helldivers, and this is the Dark Outlaw Games logo, by the way. They made a like a D with like a detective guy in it. I thought with DOG, Dark Outlaw Games, that we're gonna do like a dog, but I think this looks cool anyway. It's got kind of like a Dick Tracy kind of comic book vibe. In any case, he said that what he said was largely had been taken out of context. And that's not surprising that, like, somebody said something, it's being misrepresented to make everybody angry. It's like, wow, I'm very familiar with that. So to me, it's not surprising that he said something that's being misrepresented and everybody's angry and yelling at him about it. Okay, like, you've always, I continue to say, go to the source. Go to the source. Always go to the source. Go and see exactly what the person said, as opposed to, like, I've just been encouraging people, like, if you're watching in the shadows, like, if you don't like me, and you think I think something or I think I've said something, just come in and ask me about it, right? Just come in and ask me about it. If you see people saying stuff in comments or tweets or threads or whatever, be like, why don't you just show up to his show and ask him? Just type it in the chat what he thinks about X, Y, or Z. Like, I'm just going to continue to encourage people to, like, just come here and dialogue. Co-Carnage says he's all done with AC Shadows. He says it's fine. It's more AC, and to be honest, I found the story and delivery incredibly lacking. We've heard that people thought the story was pretty flat. The world is gorgeous, and the combat, although standard AC simplicity, felt just fine. Cool base building mechanics, though. The older I get, the less I want to support companies that put cash shops where you can just buy the in-game resources in the game. There's absolutely no way the gameplay isn't affected by these decisions. So it seems like he's taking issues with the micros. So, and Co is usually very fair. It's not surprising we're seeing more criticism of the story. You know, we're seeing more criticism of the story. We saw that in a lot of the reviews, and I'm actually not really dissuaded by that. I don't know if I've ever really played an Assassin's Creed and, like, you know, oh, the story better be amazing. I'm okay with the story in Assassin's Creed being one of the weaker points. I've seen a lot of praise for the stealth. I've seen a lot of praise for the combat. I've seen a lot of praise for the world, the graphics, the design, the performance. These are all things I think that matter more to me when playing a game like this. Microtransactions have been in AC since Origins. Yeah, and I think that's a fair criticism. I don't like it either. Wasn't there something that they did with Odyssey that was like really, really frowned upon? It was like some kind of an XP boost, and people felt like they intentionally made progress in Odyssey like really slow. I thought they got rid of the microtransactions in the game. Wasn't that a story like 6 months ago, or am I completely remembering incorrectly? It sounds like there's microtransactions in the game because Co brought it up, and somebody on Steam brought it up as well, that games like this should not have microtransactions. I tend to agree. I don't know why you don't just, you know, do DLC later or sell cosmetics later, you know. If the story isn't cool, then I don't care because I'm not a fan of the combat. I mean, that's going to comprise a lot of your time in a game like this. Co didn't beat Assassin's Creed Shadows. He stopped playing. Oh, he's done, as in he's not going to continue. Oh. Well, that's surprising. Doesn't he usually finish games? Isn't that like kind of one of his things? I mean, maybe he's being a little bit more free lately with just like not completing games, especially one like that, because it would take up so much of his time. He probably has other games he wants to get to. So I fully respect and encourage people to do that. If you are not vibing with the game, just get out and go play something else. Do not force it. It's not worth it, especially if you have a backlog of games. Like I have a backlog of games. Like I'm very quick to put a game now down. I played Ender Lilies for 2 hours and I just put it down. I was like, I'm not vibing with this. And then I loved it, the sequel, Ender Magnolia. I put 16 hours into it, rolled credits, and had a great time. So, Maddie plays didn't finish either. Yeah, I mean, I fully support people doing that. I don't think you should just keep going if you're not vibing with the game. I'm going to wait till Shadows is like 20. I can play AC Origins for free right now on PS Plus. I'm likely going to just start that instead of spending $70 on Shadows. The problem is I wanted to play Shadows before Yote. You've got time. Yote is going to be later this year. You've got time. Death Stranding 2 is in June. That means Yote is probably like a holiday. I bet you Yote is somewhere between September and November. Alex with a 15-month member light. There was a farm exploit in Odyssey that Ubisoft found out and patched up later, forcing people to buy their microtransactions to boost, which was lame. Yo, it's good, Christos. Folks need to stop spending time on things they don't like instead of complaining about it online. Yeah, I'm just to the point where gaming is here for me. I'm not here for gaming. Like, the hobby is supposed to serve you. You don't serve the hobby. So, like, you know, white knuckling and grinding your way to the end of a game just to roll credits so you can say that you did. What are you doing? You don't serve the game. The game's there to serve you. It's there for your enjoyment. If it's not doing that, put it down. There's 18 games behind it that you could probably be playing and having a good time with. You know what I'm saying? I'm really enjoying moving through my backlog. I finished FF16, Space Marine 2, Tales of Iron 1, Tales of Iron 2, Nine Souls, Ender Magnolia, Plague Tale Requiem. Like, I'm 7 games just in the first 3 months of this year. I'm just moving through and having a great time. And you know what? I only put one of them down, Ender Lilies. I was just like, I'm just not vibing with it. And now I'm 27 hours into Death Stranding 1 and I can't stop freaking playing. I just want to say that if anyone has had the Last Ninja open world craving, then Shadows is the ultimate experience. I played Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I got early access. I did a preview. I did like a first impressions preview of it. And if they would let me save it anywhere I want without having to make like the schnapps and farm belladonna and all that, I would probably be playing that game. I probably would have run out of time though. It's another really, really dense game. Gamers are eating so good right now. You've got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Monster Hunter Wilds, Split Fiction, and now AC Shadows. There's just so many really big, dense games. Split Fiction's not big and dense, but it's really, really fun. There's just so many games. Split Fiction's another game that I finished this year. Like, so fun playing through that with my wife. You're a Tales of Iron fan? Also, I really want to pick up Nine Souls soon. Be very, very careful with Nine Souls. It is a side-scroller Sekiro. In the late game, it's absurdly hard. Like, I was not expecting it to be as hard as it was. It's literally Sekiro. It's a rhythm game at the end. You're like, ping, 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 dodge, ping, 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 ping. Oh, now I get to punish the boss. Like, it's very intense. Some of the sections can be very, very punishing. It's not just some like light-hearted melee combat Metroidvania. It is literally side-scroller Sekiro. That sounds amazing to me. I hope you have a ball. I liked it. I was not prepared for how hard it got. I was like, yo, this game's getting crazy. Like, it got a little nuts. It got a little nuts. I was getting a little salty some evenings. Guys, if you haven't done so already, man, smash the like button. Give us 50 more likes. We're on our way to 300 likes. You guys are crushing it today. Thank you so much. We've only been streaming for about an hour, and we have a lot more to come. We got a very full day. We will be playing Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay. Another order of the soda. You guys are supporting our brand new, sponsorship partnership with Sprecher. They've got, draft beer. They've got their fire drafted soda. on their site there, and you guys know me. If I don't like something, I don't push it. So they sent me the care package. I tried it. My wife and I both liked it way more than we thought we would. And so you can use my code and over there, code LONO, and you can use the command in chat. Thank you to everybody who's already done that, and thank you to everybody who is smashing the like button. Keep it going. Don't slow down. We could scream our way to 300 likes super, super quick. I honestly, if Ubisoft is looking to sell the IP, I hope Sony buys AC. Listen, I would like Sony to be the one to get it. That's better than the IP going away or sitting on the shelf somewhere. You know, like some company buys it and just sits on it. But I don't want Sony to buy it if it's just going to sit there. I would prefer them to buy it and then also get a studio to work on it. I don't know if Ubi is wanting to sell studios. You would want somebody with the institutional knowledge, like that has worked on Assassin's Creed before. I don't want like Sony buying it and like handing it to somebody else. Oh yeah, here, you guys work on this, if they've never worked on an Assassin's Creed before. I got a feeling Microsoft gets first dibs. I don't know if Microsoft's looking to buy more IP given what they're doing right now. They're in ROI mode. Now, apparently, Ubisoft entertained EA and Microsoft for some of the IP. Again, I would be worried that I don't want Microsoft to own any more IP. They haven't proven themselves as a third-party publisher yet. Their cadence and quality this gen has been pretty inconsistent. They've had 3 games show up on time at quality. Everything else has shown up late and not ready for launch or at 30 FPS. They have a low-calorie option, Rich Rod, if you want to get that. They don't really have like a diet option. Yes, they are still making Assassin's Creed Hexe. Microsoft is biting off more than they can chew. Yeah, I don't like Microsoft in gaming. I don't like the way they treat their studios. They have so much, and see, this is what always gets misunderstood. A lot of people do not understand my criticism, and they think I'm like hating on Xbox. I am not hating on Xbox. I am very critical of Microsoft. I don't want Microsoft to own more studios. I don't think they treat their studios well. They don't. What they did to 343 and what they did to Halo Infinite, I don't want them owning any more studios or IP. They need to completely change my mind before I would be celebrating that. They could be an amazing publisher. They have deep pockets, but they need to treat their studios better. Their greatest asset is their pocketbook. The way they treat their studios is their greatest downfall. I don't think they treat the studios well. They could be a fantastic publisher. They really could, because they got a lot of money. But they're too utilitarian, they're too tool-based in their view of software, and I believe it affects their view of gaming development. I don't want Sony to buy the Ubisoft IP. I say this as a PlayStation player. The danger of picking up the IP whose success is built into multi-platform release forces PlayStation to keep the IP multi-plat. Maybe, maybe not. Captain Toasty Buns with 38 months and a membership light. Thank you so much, Captain Toasty Buns, for sticking with me for that long. If you guys have never supported a channel directly on YouTube, I know it's kind of like almost a faux pas. We have almost like the Twitch culture here of supporting the channel directly, which is why you see so many names in chat with badges next to them. If you've never done it before, try it out for a month, click join, and pick Member Plus. It's $6 a month, and you get into extra shows. We do twice as many shows every day for members. We do morning coffee to start the day, and we do green room to end the day. And if you're at Member Plus, you get all of that. Assassin's Creed Shadows is almost to my door. Enjoy it, man. Enjoy it. I hope you have a good time. I'll be playing it as well this afternoon. I can't wait to dive in. It's one of my most anticipated games this year, so I'm really, really hoping I can get into a vibe with it. I'm probably going to end up going back to Death Stranding and hope that they add the co-op thing soon. Arrow Odd was 6 months and a Member Plus says, keep up the great content. We had Gambit set up a 10-bomb dunker to 400, and then it just kind of sat, and Arrow Odd's going to bump the line to 391. Thank you so much. They're trying to kick the whole Microsoft staff onto the 18-month contract. Has that been reported somewhere? And one of the recent earnings, wasn't the CEO of Sony saying that they're looking to acquire more IP? Also, that was part of where people got mad because the Sony CEO was saying that they don't have many IPs. In the grand scheme of the gaming world, the amount of IPs that they own? No, actually, I remember that quote, Jack. He was specifically talking about IPs for gaming, TV, and movies, and I think he was saying they don't own as much as they would like to or something. Like, I think it was also in reference to like TV shows and movies, which in the grand scheme of things, they're always going to want more, I would imagine. That's part of their business structure. I don't think it was like, oh yeah, we don't have enough gaming IPs. I think it was a broad statement of he feels they don't have enough IPs across that spectrum of games, TV shows, movies. Why didn't they think about selling off Xbox instead of shutting it down? I'm not sure. Are you talking about when they've considered shutting it down in the past? Is that what you're talking about? Most Xbox players actually don't probably you're trying to say don't like Microsoft. AC could be a good resource for movies or a TV show. I mean, maybe. I don't know. You don't make up the majority. The numbers do not lie. Phil, I think he was trying to say they don't like Xbox, maybe? Good morning, Lono. What's good, Trippy? What's up, brethren? So far, AC Shadows looks good. It's crazy to see how much the franchise has changed. I hope the games return to the creed and why the assassins exist. They don't have any desire to do that. They kind of did a soft reboot in Origins. The last AC movie says hi and bye. Yeah, I don't know. I think you could do a really, really good Assassin's Creed show. You'd have to get like within the lane of like, you know, production quality, casting, writing that we saw in like the early seasons of Game of Thrones or the Viking show. I think you could make a pretty good Assassin's Creed show. I think you could. You know, or like what Spice King's saying, do like an anime adaptation. Josh, 7 months on a member plus. Good morning, Lono. I've never seen an AC fan and haven't really played them much. Oh, you've never been an AC fan, but Shadows has my eye a bit. Looks like it could turn the IP around, and that adds to the total. Every 25 I give 5. We're 8 away from me having to do it again. Thank you so much, Josh. A high-quality Assassin's Creed TV series would be sick. It'd be expensive and difficult to pull off, but it's possible. The IP is rich with content. That's true. The AC movie was a letdown, even though I enjoyed it for what it was. I never even saw it. It was, yeah. You got to plug that you go live at 9 a.m. Eastern. I've got to go your channel to see the morning coffee live, so some people might not see it on their YouTube side accounts. I appreciate that, DE. Guys, if you do get a gifted membership or you sign up for a membership, make sure again that you pick Member Plus. Member Lite is reserved for gifted members because they don't get into everything. We do give more content to people who support the channel directly. I think that that's fair. Gifteds get into morning coffee, streams with Hilly, and streams with my wife. Paying members get into the green room, which is more of a behind-the-scenes thing that we do at the end of every day. And what D is saying, hey, let people know you start every day at 9 a.m. Eastern in morning coffee. So you get like 9 a.m. to about 3 in the afternoon if you're a member. If you're not a member, you don't get that. You just get this show. If you like a long talk show, man, a membership's well worth it because we start the day at 9 and we end around 3. And your show is basically uninterrupted if you're a member. He says he likes Rise of the Ronin way better as combat's more polished. It's buggy. I mean, isn't Ronin doing pretty poorly on Steam because of the bugs? Where did he play Ronin? Yeah, I take his feedback with a grain of salt the size of a boulder. Ronin's on here with a 52% because of how poorly it was ported. Now, as far as comparing the combat, you're comparing a Team Ninja game to an Assassin's Creed. Ronin had great combat. I'll be the first to say that I don't expect that level of combat from an AC game. GJX with his preview said, if you're expecting Tsushima or Sekiro level combat here, you're not going to get it. But he said it's some of the best Assassin's Creed combat he's ever played. But to act like Assassin's Creed Shadows is buggy and Ronin's better, Ronin's got a 52% on Steam for a reason. It's a terrible port. Unless he played on PlayStation, that's where I played Ronin. I'm assuming Zach played on his PC. I don't think does he play on console? I'm enjoying Shadows, especially on the PS5 Pro. I think it's good in its own way. For me, Assassin's Creed is about traveling through time and using parkour and assassinating people to protect the path of history. I love all the anima stuff. Yeah, I didn't vibe with that. That's why Origins was like my favorite. My favorite. It was my favorite. Because to me, that was how that was how they kind of turned the corner with the franchise. To me, they turned the corner with the franchise there because it's like the franchise needed a shot in the arm, you know? I liked AC up to that point. I don't think it needed saved, but I think it needed like a change, and that's why I loved Origins. If you compare Ronin to Neo in terms of combat, it won't be in favor of Ronin as well. If you compared Ronin to Sekiro, it wouldn't fare. Sekiro would have better combat. You can always go to games that have their primary focus on the combat system and make one game look less than. Now, I don't think you're ever going to compare Sekiro to anything and have it be better. I think Sekiro is the absolute best melee-based game ever created. But I do think, yes, those types of comparisons can be a tad misleading because it's like, well, AC Shadows is not meant to be in that lane. Its combat's going to be good and fun and satisfying. It's not going to be at the level of like a Ronin or a Sekiro or a Tsushima. I just don't expect that. I don't expect that. I think your expectations shouldn't be that high for a game like this. I'm not saying like, oh, you should lower your expectations and think that the combat's going to be bad. I don't think that you should expect such a hyper focus on combat excellence because those games, that's what they're focused on. That's why Ronin looks like a PS4 game. The graphical, fidelity, the art style, and the performance were not very good. They weren't very good. So it's like, I don't know what to tell you. The combat being better, that's great. I liked it. I loved the depth of it. I loved all the customization, but I'm not going to approach every single game with a sword and expect it to be at that level. Let's look at the point of Helldivers. If people don't understand that, like, Helldivers 2 dev openly states that Super Earth is intended to be a fascist totalitarian regime. Developers were actively trying to brainwash the entire community to fight for a fascist state. Are people just dumb? Like, am I out of touch? Are most people dumb? That's literally what Helldivers... How do you play Helldivers and not notice that it's a total parody satire of, like, fascist totalitarian regime governments? Like, they punish you if you go against what they say. Like, good golly, people are dumb. How do you not play that game and not pick up on that? That's literally what... You're the bad guy in Helldivers? It's part of the gag. It's part of the jokes. When the Ministry of Truth puts out their little videos, and that's why I always got attacked for people would say that I was actively engaging in treason when I said that I didn't feel like the Ministry of Truth was telling us the truth. Even the gamers that play the game are leaning into it. They will literally jump on your videos and tell you that you're guilty of treason and that they're reporting you to the Ministry of Truth. And these guys are like, I can't believe that that's what the game is about. It's like, what the frick? It's like the people that say, when did Rage Against the Machine get political? What? People are so dumb, bro. They're super dumb. You know what I mean? You talk about Super Earth. Some of these people are super dumb, bro. They meant that literally, Lono. You are actually being reported. Oh, man. I don't get it. It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. Helldivers is a total gag game. It's total tongue-in-cheek. Man. Whew. Rise of the Ronin, Ghost of Tsushima, Neo, and then Shadows. In what are you listing those games for? Are you just saying those are good games to play, or are you trying to compare them? Guys, can we get 25 more likes on the video really, really quickly? Slingshot us up there. Let's get it. Let's get to 300 likes. We're having a nice strong day. We're gonna be playing some. Assassin's Creed Shadows very, very soon for you on the PS5 Pro. I realize more and more that I may, in fact, hate the general public. I don't think it's the general public. I don't. I think it's a very small group of people, but they obviously get a lot of the traction, in on Twitter. But I don't think most people think about it. All those videos that I did about Helldivers and people were like, "This is treason. We're reporting you to the Ministry of Truth," right? Those people got the gag. They get the joke. I think there's more people that understand that Helldivers is a gag and it's a joke. That more people understand it than don't understand it. Right? There's also something called willful ignorance. I think some of these people are being willfully ignorant so that they can propagate a lie. They're doing that with AC Shadows. We're once again seeing grown men voluntarily choose the gay romance option and then seethe and mauled about it being forced on them. It's like, maybe you're just gay, bro. Like, I don't know. You keep choosing the gay option in the video games, and then you act like it's forced on you. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's not my purse. It's like, oh, okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just wear it proudly, bro. You know what I'm saying? Start to go by, Stefan, or make sure everybody pronounces your full name, right? Stop going by Jeremy and go by Jeremiah. Like, no one, you know what I'm saying? No one freaking cares, bro. Thank you, Sir Lightning Storm with a month in VIP says, 1 month, keep up the great work. Thank you so much. And that gets us to 393. 7 away. Wait, the guy whose family was eaten by a bug in the intro? That wasn't his real family? Ooh, come on now. And also, the romance option in Assassin's Creed has been there like the last 3 or 4 games. It's not a new thing. You could do that in Odyssey. You as a girl could totally do that if you wanted to. You could romance a girl. Like, I don't know. People have apparently never played these games, I guess. If you don't get the satire behind Starship Troopers and Helldivers, you're probably an actual fact. Maybe that's why people are upset. They're like, hey, they're making fun of us. Is there romance in Shadows? Yeah. You could do it in Odyssey. You could do it in Valhalla. It's not a new thing. It's not being forced on anybody. This kind of thing's been around since, I don't know, the Mass Effect games? You can romance anybody. I was trying to romance the old lady doctor in Mass Effect, and they wouldn't let me. I brought her back her whiskey and everything, and I had a drink with her. I was like, you're a fine old lady. And she's like, get out of my office. And I was like, frick. It wasn't that extreme, but... It's almost in the vein of somebody whose entire internet history has a bunch of crossed swords on the hub, but they claim it was because of the pop-ups. Nah, bro. You just like the dill pickles. Tell them, Insomniac. Tell them. Let them know. You know? It's a shame. It's a shame when your viewing habits are suddenly seen on Twitter, isn't it? Isn't that a little embarrassing, you know? I saw a video from... middle-aged gamer guy, Love Mag. Yesterday, he speculated that Project Delta was Siphon Filter. What do you think? Is Mag speculating, or does Mag know something? Mag's got sources, y'all. Was he speculating, or was he, winking? Was he winking? Was he like, it could be Siphon Filter? You know what I'm saying? Or was he just stabbing? Was he just taking a stab in the dark? Please, bro, don't give me the option to kiss men. The only thing stopping me from kissing men is not having the option to. I'll never be able to resist the option. Please, bro, don't. That's exactly right, Tool. They're like, if you give me the option, I can't say no. It's like, good golly. You know what I'm saying? They take the long way home. so they don't have to drive by a gay bar. They're like, bro, I take the long way home. I can't resist it. If I drive past Steam's Flaming Unicorn, I'm being there doing shots in no time. Mag's logic is really sound. Okay, so he's just kind of like logicking, like deducing it. Okay. He says he knows on good authority that people can fly. Oh, he says that he knows on good authority that people can fly or making siphon filter. Don't put words in his mouth. Did Mag actually say that? And a member plus from Edward Hulse, 20 months of memberships. Happy Assassin's Creed Shadows Day. Also excited to see more Claire Obscura Expedition 33 at the Future Game Show Spring Showcase tonight at 8 p.m. GMT, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific. Thank you so much, Edward Hulse. And that puts us at 394. So close to the next milestone of me owing you guys some members. It forced me to click that pop-up. I didn't mean to. That's what I'm saying. I love gay bars. I always drink for free. Hey, that's fraud, man. That's mean. That's really mean. You know what I'm saying? Does that actually work, though? Does that actually work, though? Man, I'm never buying a drink again. My wife's like, why are we here? Shush, shush, shush. Just go get a booth. I can't be seen with you. I can't be seen with you. I'm trying to get some drinks, okay? She's like, why? Why do I have to go sit by myself? You'll understand in a minute. All right, just hang on. Even Seeds will tell you Mag has contacts. No, I trust Mag. I do. I trust Mag. Middle-aged gamer guy? Oh yeah, I trust him. He's got sources. He's been hitting bullseyes. He's been getting predictions right. He's gotten a lot of hate for it, but he's been getting predictions right. So if he says, big if here, I've not seen the video, so I'm taking you guys at your word. If he says it's siphon filter, and it is siphon filter. Look at what you guys do to get free drinks. Can't blame you, though. Don't hate the player. Don't hate the player. Thank you, Heavy Model Mama, for continuing to use that soda command. Guys, we did a cool thing. We activated with Sprecher, and they do have a cool thing going on. You guys know me. I don't like root beer, and I even like their root beer. They were voted like best root beer in America by the New York Times. It says in American. Hang on, that is a typo. Hang on 1 second. It's supposed to be in America, not in American. Let me fix that. That's a typo in the command. Yeah, they were named best root beer in America by the New York Times. And I got to tell you, I'm not a root beer guy. You guys know I've made fun of it before, talked about how like it's a kid's drink. And I actually could not believe that I liked it. And my wife has tried a lot of these like new soda companies that have come up, and she could not believe how good the cherry soda was, along with the orange cream and the cream soda. So give it a try. It does support me, and I like it because they're caffeine. There's no caffeine in them. And Dan upgrades to Member Plus. Thank you so much, Dan. That counts as 2. When you guys upgrade, I count it as 2. It's a huge need on the channel. Huge need on the channel. And a super chat tip from Super Googly. Go woke, go broke. I refuse to buy this game even though I have a PS5 Pro and a 5090. What is woke about it? Are all the animes and is Neo woke? There's other games and there's other pieces of media that have included Yasuke. I don't understand. Cat Uncle with the 5 bomb. That's an Agent of Chaos. 401. He's like, I want the crown. I want both. I want the milestone and I want Agent of Chaos, and he gets it. I'm very skeptical if people can fly. Bulletstorm and Gears Judgment were lackluster, for sure. For sure. I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. But that's why I said 12 and listed 15. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, but I'm only counting 10. Colt Eastwood had a tweet that I replied to. He said Xbox is releasing 12 first-party games in 2025. And I just replied and said they've got a strong lineup, but Gears of War E-Day doesn't have a release date. Gears Trilogy's not been announced. Oblivion Remake's not been announced. And Forza Horizon 5 and Indiana Jones, counting those, like those games are already released. So even without those, it's a strong lineup. It's 10. It's not 12. He did list 15, but it's 10. I think counting Indiana Jones and Forza is kind of like, come on, man. Like, come on, Colt. Come on, Colt. You know, those games are already out. Saying that they're releasing is a bit much. That would be like saying, you know, PlayStation released, you know, more games in the years when, like, their ports hit PC. Come on, boy. Come on. That's silly. We all know that's silly. Like when Returnal and Tsushima and Ragnarok and Spider-Man 2 all went to PC, nobody's out here saying, "Oh, look how many games PlayStation's releasing." No, because it's a port. Come on. Sean Davis with 7 months says, "Lone, have you ever played a MOBA?" Yeah, I don't like them. $5 super chat from Charles Hawk. Charles makes it rain confetti. I love that soda. I buy it from Bevmo here in California. Well, when you buy it from them and you use code LONO or my link, it does help me out. Thank you so much. And I now owe a member for that super chat goal confetti. I'll reset the link. I will gift a member. There we go. And Jom renews the membership for 38 months at the VIP. Caught the flu yesterday, so it looks like I got to relax and catch the streams every day. Oh, darn. Oh, poor you. Thank you so much. Did you catch the AC Shadows flu? Is that it? Or did you actually get the flu? Let me go ahead and just do a single. If you guys get this to 425, I'll owe you 10. So I'm going to kind of hold off. I'm going to hold off and wait. And listen. I'm keeping this lighthearted. Right? I'm not putting someone in my content to make fun of them or get clicks. I'm just interacting with somebody on Twitter, and I don't think that we should count games that are already out. If you think you should count games that are already out, I guess that's fine. You can do that. But, like, I don't think that's helpful to make people think that, like, oh, Xbox is releasing that many games? Where? And it's like, well, 2 of them are ports to PlayStation. 3 of them are games that haven't even been announced yet and don't have release dates. And it's like, well, come on, man. What are we doing here? Like, Gears of War E-Day is a big maybe according to Tom Warren for 2025. The Gears of War trilogy's not been announced yet. Oblivion's not been announced yet. I believe that they're coming. I do. I believe that they're coming this year, but they've not been announced yet. You know, and Forza Horizon and Indiana Jones are already out. Come on. You know what I mean? Gears is not coming in 2025. Tom Warren seems to think there's a slim chance that it could. For some reason, I'm not sure what Xbox is doing, but for some reason, Xbox does seem to be trying to pull things back earlier into 2025. I don't know why, but they seem to be trying to do that. They apparently did it with Oblivion. They apparently did it with The Outer Worlds too, and apparently they were trying to do it with Gears of War E-Day, according to Tom Warren. So it's like maybe they know that 2026 is going to be insane too, and they're trying to make sure that they're not too like much of a deluge. They want, when you're publishing, you got to have your games kind of spread out, because if you don't, they'll step on each other. You can't be like, here's Doom, here's Outer Worlds, here's this, boom, 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 boom. Like, you got to space them out, or you're gonna work against your own publishing aims. For business, it's revenue and shipping games, but the point keeping is not new games. Yeah, that's my issue with it, is going to the public and to the Xbox fans and being like, yeah, man, Xbox is releasing what was the phrasing? Xbox is releasing 12 first party games in 2025. And it's like, I mean, come on. Like, come on. Just, you know, that's not necessary. Xbox has to stop trying to pump out a new console before GTA 6. If the PS5 Pro is the only console that can do 60 FPS, it's really going to hurt it. I mean, we don't know. You know, we don't know if that's going to be the case. Now, I've made my own argument that I think GTA 6 is going to have a 60 FPS mode. I don't know if it'll be consistently 60, but I think they're going to target having a mode. Please read my question regarding Siphon Filter when you get a moment. Oh, shoot. Hang on. Lobo. Surprised to hear that someone not named Ben could potentially work on that IP. Siphon Filter rumor. Does that mean People Can Fly is going to support Bend, or are they going to work on a standalone capacity? Yeah, we're going to be co-streaming the future game show, yes. I don't know, Lobo. I don't know what Bend is working on. Bend was pitching a new game at some point. They had a picture of them pitching a new game. They had like the folder and everything. I think they were pitching a new game. So I don't know if they were pitching the sequel to Days Gone. Maybe the Days Gone remaster is going to help them get the sequel greenlit. I honestly don't know. The first clue that the Switch 2 will have 60 FPS mode, Xenoblade Chronicles X has a hidden 60 FPS EXE file. Really? Well, that's promising. Because that game looked really, really cool. It really did. That game looked really, really cool, but I wouldn't want to play it at 30. I was seeing all of Gene Park's footage on Twitter, and I was like, that game looks sweet. You're hoping for a Days Gone sequel? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're working on Siphon Filter or if People Can Fly's working on Siphon Filter. People in chat are claiming that middle-aged gamer guy Mag said that he has it on good authority that People Can Fly is working on Siphon Filter. So we got to take that for what it's worth. I bought a Wii U because of Xenoblade Chronicles X. Paul, we don't need to insult anybody. Interesting nonetheless. I'm usually not one to give an F about rumors. Thanks for circling back. Yeah, no problem. If I ever miss what you guys say or something, just let me know. Yeah, Ben canceled their live service game. Yeah. They were working on some sort of a live service game that was going to utilize the open world systems and technology from Days Gone was what they were working on. Just got an email that my Sprecher order has shipped. Already? Nice. That's amazing. We can insult you, though, right? I mean, within reason. Isn't Siphon Filter or whatever a PS1 game 25 years later? The game could go in any direction. I don't even know. Isn't it kind of like a Splinter Cell, Metal Gear Solid adjacent game? It's kind of like in that vein. I never played them. Never did. Paul getting spicy. There's just no reason to call names. Like, I can read a tweet and be like, I don't really agree with that, and it not turn into something. Hear me out. I think People Can Fly game is being made on Decima Engine since Sony is footing the bill to with help from Guerrilla Games. Also, it's a Killzone reboot. Are you just guessing, Autogon? Are you just stabbing in the dark? Hey, Lona, did you see Fighting Cowboys' takedown of the woke mob? It was glorious. I didn't. What are you talking about? I'm sure you can, but the jokes go over his head. Her. Get it? He's short. Oh, you're just guessing, Autogon. Okay. They're helping with new gears for a reason. Huh? People Can Fly are experts with the Unreal Engine. Oh. Okay. Yeah, I don't think they're doing anything with Guerrilla. Siphon Filter heavily features Delta, Project Delta. The cowboy clip was incredible. What exactly was he eviscerating? Was he eviscerating the woke or the anti-woke? Like who is he taking to task? I don't think anybody even knows anymore what category anybody's in. Like I get called woke. I get called a lefty, and I'm like, there couldn't be the furthest thing from that. Have you have to find him go off on a woke crowd while doing an AC Shadows stream. It was excellent. I don't understand. You guys keep saying woke crowd. So he was playing AC Shadows and he went off on the woke, or was he going off on the anti? Like, I don't understand. Do they have a mailing address? Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even know what it means anymore. Siphon Filter is going to be on another level of hype for me. So much nostalgia there, says Sven. I watched Mag's video. He said that they're working on Siphon Filter. WGC with a membership renewal at Member Plus, 16 months. Thanks, team, for accidentally unlocking AC Shadows 4 hours early last night. It gave me something to do after finishing Split Fiction. What'd you think of Split Fiction, man? I really liked it. I had a blast with that, with playing with Madam. I did. I had an absolute blast with it. Oh, he was yelling at somebody, complaining about a black guy in AC Shadows. Got it. Okay, so he wasn't going after the woke crowd. He was going after, the boys who cry woke. It sounds like that's what he was doing to me. Like, yeah. I genuinely think people are already tired of it. I do. I think people are already tired of it. Every time it comes up here, people don't want to hear about it. They'll either leave or ask us to change the subject. I think it's already running out of gas, which I celebrate that. I think it's been a huge distraction, and my prediction's already coming true that they were going to pick a bunch of bad targets, and it was going to go poorly for them, and it's already happening. So, you're just striking out. So let them keep striking out, and we'll just keep talking about games and having a good time. Pacey Games, I don't know why you keep spamming that question. Can you hear me? I've answered you. We've talked about it, and then you've just asked it one more time. I'm not sure what's going on. Are you on a time loop, or are you behind or something in the stream? I'm not sure what's going on. Does Shadow have a day one patch? I don't know. I've not checked to see. I assumed usually games of this size do have day one patches. Yes, they typically do. We're going to start having a good time. When is that? Soon. It'll be very soon. They patched the shrine destruction. The whole Siphon Filter series can be played with PlayStation Premium. Yeah, I don't think I have any desire to do that. I don't like going back that far, especially when I have no nostalgic connection at all. Concord was a gift from the heavens. Yeah, between Concord and Kill the Justice League, yeah. It tells me, it says I have the latest version, and it looks like Marvel Rivals downloaded an update. I'm not getting a day one patch. Ubisoft has released an Assassin's Creed Shadows update that makes it impossible to damage or destroy certain objects in the game's shrines. If I go to information, I'm on 1.002.103, whatever that is. I don't know, whatever that is. Maybe if you're playing on the disc, digital, no. Yeah, digital, I don't have any history of it downloading an update. So whatever version I pre-installed yesterday afternoon, it's telling me is the current version. So we'll soon find out. Yeah, we will be playing Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay on my PS5 Pro this afternoon, and we'll be co-streaming the Future Game Show this afternoon as well. So, GTA 6 will definitely be 60 on base PS5. I don't think I would say definitely will be 60. I think Rockstar has signaled rather loudly that they are going to attempt to have a performance mode in GTA 6. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's going to be consistent, but I think they have signaled rather loudly that they are going to ship with the performance mode. That's what I think. Assassin's Creed has officially commented on this. They said, remember the fourth tenet of the creed, flirting in RPG games is always optional. And they're retweeting Mighty Keef. Like literally all the other Assassin's Creeds, there is optional romance in the game, meaning you only got here by choosing to flirt with that person. So Keef and the even Synth Potato commenting here, and Assassin's Creed, let's give that a boost, because yeah, this is not new. It isn't. We just completely take the wind out of the sails and take the oxygen out of the room. Be like, no, this is This isn't new. This has been in the games for a while. This is totally typical in RPGs. You guys are making it into something that it's not. So the best thing to do is to fight dishonesty with just truth and evidence. That's the best thing to do. So a balance mode might be the move for GTA 6. Yeah, I mean, look at Assassin's Creed Shadows as an example. Like, you turn off global illumination and you get 60 FPS on the base PS5. So if a game like GTA 6 can have things like that can be turned off at such a big level, you can get a pretty significant performance boost by doing that. Right? You can get a significant boost by doing that. I mean, you're getting it right now in AC Shadows. Turn off global illumination and the frames double. I mean, Digital Foundry, thank you for the $5 super chat, Wired Rope. Digital Foundry did a video on the GTA Enhanced Edition on PC, and they believe it's backported from GTA 6 and that consoles will run at 30 FPS like in the trailer. That logic doesn't track to me. They've backported things from GTA 6, but why does that mean that it'll run at 30 on consoles? That feels like a non sequitur. Do they argue that in a more succinct way, not succinct way, in a more step-by-step way? It sounds like we're jumping through a bunch of steps. Like, oh, well, they backported it, so it's going to run 30 on console. Because it's well optimized on the GPU, but heavy on the CPU. So a game that was already heavy on the CPU is still heavy on the CPU, and that means they think that it's going to be that way in GTA 6. I don't agree with that logic at all. GTA 5 was already heavy on the CPU. I don't think an update 12 years after the game came out was going to change that reality. They're not going to rebuild the entire game's structure. Like, the game was already... See, again, this is... I'm telling you, I think this prediction is lacking. You're looking at a game that is already heavily CPU bound, and you're like, yeah, GTA 6 is going to be the same. And I'm like, okay. I don't find that to be compelling. A $5 super chat from Sven. Can't buy the sodas due to health restrictions with my wife, but here's some money instead. Also, I think you're really going to jive with Naoe's combat. Well, I appreciate that. It's going to be hard, man, for me to pick between the two, because some of the stuff I'm seeing Yasuke do, I'm like, dude, that looks freaking awesome. That looks freaking awesome. Calling it now, GTA 6 30 on base. PS5 Pro will be 30 with ray tracing and 60 without. Omar says, no, meaning that even on modern hardware, it causes the game to be significantly heavier unless you have a beefy CPU. This is based on ray tracing global illumination. The enhanced version is messed up. CPU limitations can be dealt with simply by lowering traffic on consoles and draw distance. I don't find any of that argumentation to be compelling. I don't. They could be 100% right. I don't think the argumentation's compelling to be like, well, their games were CPU bound and this one's still CPU bound, and you know the ray tracing and stuff that they're doing is causing more of a CPU load. Ergo, GTA 6 will be heavily CPU bound. Ray tracing will hit the CPU load and it'll run at 30. I don't think that's compelling, because you're talking about a game that is like over 10 years old. We're in a different era of time now. We are. None of that even remotely lands on anything I put in my 60 FPS video when I talked about how that era of time has changed. The way that the community and the way that the general public looks at 30 FPS now, that it's performing that way in a 12-year-old game with what is a simplistic game by current standards doesn't bode well. That was the analysis. And that is a fallacious analysis, because they're not... It's a 12-year-old game that they haven't gone back to restructure. So if they're not... They're not going to go back. Now, you could boot up any game right now from that era that's heavily CPU bound and be like, oh, man, their sequel's going to be the same. And it's like, but you don't know that. You don't know that. It's like, we don't know what they've done with the engine. We don't know what they've done with GTA 6. We can't base any predictions on a 12-year-old game. I think that that's very, very poor argumentation. I don't think that that's good. Last generation consoles had the worst CPUs for their time of any console ever released. Does everyone just forget about Cyberpunk, says Trill. Luke Vaders with 9 months of memberships. Hey, Lono, are you planning on playing Gears and Halo when they come to the Pro? I don't have any interest in the Master Chief collection. The Gears collection, probably. I liked those games. I remember playing those with my friends. And then Gears of War E-Day, yeah, obviously super interested in. If it would have stayed exclusive, that would have been a reason to turn on my Series X. I like the Gears games. I really liked Gears 5. A lot of people hated on Gears 5. I had a blast with it. GTA can be 60 with all the bells and whistles minus ray tracing on. Any game can do it, but it has to be optimized. No laziness on the devs. Paul says, it's an awful generation to use as a barometer for games being CPU bound. We know it will probably be more complex rather than less. The analysis is deeper than that. Considering so many corners were cut in GTA 5, the game runs easily until our global illumination on weak CPUs. Omar, let's just take this argument into another arena. Is Assassin's Creed Shadows more complex or less complex than Assassin's Creed 1? What's an Assassin's Creed that came out 12 years ago? Seriously. It doesn't track. It doesn't track. It's very, very poor, ill-applied logic. It is so ill-applied. So many games we're playing right now are more complex. Was Horizon Forbidden West more complex or less complex than Horizon Zero Dawn? It was more complex, and yet runs amazing, looks amazing. Why? They got better at stuff. They got more power. They got better at optimization. More complex then, but it won't be anywhere near a GTA in a modern city. I'm just going to keep saying people are getting ahead of themselves. These are the same people that said the Xbox Series X was going to outperform the PS5. These are the same people that have been very, very surprised and very impressed time and time again at how well the PS5 seems to be hitting above their predictions about its weight class. These are the same people, right? There was an entire era of time where there were all these predictions about Series S is going to run circles around the PS5. And what has happened? Everyone's been surprised Pikachu face at how that didn't happen. And we're doing the same thing. We're looking at super old games and we're like, oh yeah, because this super old game, yeah, Rockstar is just going to do it again. You're acting like they haven't made any discoveries, they haven't made any changes, they've done nothing internally to figure out how to get around that. This is terrible, terrible prediction use of analyzation and logic. It's terrible. It's like you're just looking at really old games. I could look at really, really old Assassin's Creed games and be like, there's no way Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to run at 60 FPS because it's more complex than previous games that ran at 30. That's such bad argumentation. That's the argumentation that you're trotting out. Look at AC Shadows right now on the Pro with global illumination locked at 60 practically the entire time and be like, yeah, it's so much more complex than older Assassin's Creed games. How are they doing this wizardry? Did they build a brand new GTA 6 or is it GTA 5.5? If they build it from the ground up, how can we extrapolate from the old game? That's what I'm saying from the previous game. Like, we don't know enough. We don't know enough. We have a trailer, and trailers commonly run at 30, so that's an indicator of nothing. It is an indicator of nothing. And to be like, oh, let's look at an old game. Brother, you could do that with any game from that generation. Any game. You could do it with Destiny. You could do it with Assassin's Creed. All those games back then were running at 30 and being like, well, they're going to run at 30 this gen because they ran at 30 last gen. They ran into bottlenecks. Well, okay. How did all these companies figure it out then? How? If GTA 6 is 30 on consoles, will you play it on the Pro? Please tell us. If it's 30, I won't play it. I don't play 30 FPS games. I don't care whose game it is. I made an exception for Hellblade 2, played it on my PC because I loved Hellblade 1. I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm not. The only reason I played Avowed is because they pushed out a 60 FPS performance mode at launch. If it wouldn't have had that at launch, I wouldn't have touched it. We can extrapolate from the trailer the number of unique NPCs, their actions not being the same, a bit of scope, all more than Shadows. So, Omar, you think that in the realm of trailers and showing things in engine, that what they showed us is exactly how the game's going to run and operate? Like, we haven't been here before where trailers are usually way overstuffed with stuff that doesn't show up in the raw gameplay? You don't think that they could limit the number of NPCs? You don't think they could do instance setups to where the NPCs aren't there until they're within draw distance? I mean, there's all sorts of things they could have come up with. For goodness sakes, Dragon's Dogma 2 was having its frame rate plummet in towns because the NPCs were thinking. Like, there's all sorts of things they could have found. They could have had breakthroughs with NPC saturation, NPC behavior, render distance, draw distance, turning off or on lighting methods. We don't know enough. That's just what I keep coming back to. We don't know enough. All I know is the developer has signaled an interest in getting better performance in GTA 5. To me, that signals that they're trying to figure things out. I think that it does. It's like, why would you update GTA 5 on next-gen consoles to run at 60? Why would you do that if you knew GTA 6 was going to run at 30? That's asinine. You would have just left GTA 5 at 30. You wouldn't update it. Why would you do that? A $5 super chat from Borbor. I lower my standards for non-SIE games. Rockstar has floaty gameplay. You can do a lot, but the lag. People need to know that Naughty Dog is the king of all studios. I'm glad you like Naughty Dog. That's not really relevant to the discussion right now. I'm not guaranteeing it will be 30. I'm saying the logic tracks. I don't agree. I don't think the logic tracks. There's too many unknowns for that logic to hold together. If you apply, listen, we've done this before. If you apply the logic in other scenarios, it falls to pieces. Because Assassin's Creed Shadows is significantly more complex than Assassin's Creed games from 12 years ago. And they somehow figured out running global illumination and 60 on the Pro, and you turn off global illumination and you get 60 on the base PS5. How in the world did they do that if 12 years ago, the game was less complex and capped at 30? How'd they do it? Do you see? It doesn't track. It's like games from 12 years ago, that was the common behavior. That was the common expectation. We're playing games that are more complex now that are somehow hitting 60. How are they doing it? Yeah, we heard, thank you, Paul. We heard the same nonsense about Starfield. And all of a sudden, Starfield got a 60 FPS patch. Thank you, Super Googly, with the super chat. We can finally align on Nintendo games since you don't play at 30 FPS. Yeah, but I don't hate on them. They're great games. It's a weak device from 2017. Yeah, can you imagine the biggest game this generation shipping only on console and having 30 FPS? All that point, everyone will be moving to PC. Rockstar typically doesn't really exaggerate in the trailers. I looked up GTA 5 and Red Dead 2 trailers when the conversation around FPS started on the net. Trailers are very close to the games. But they've not shown us gameplay yet. They haven't. They've not shown us gameplay. A camera sweeping through in-engine sequences with NPCs, it doesn't mean those NPCs are going to be behaving like that and in the same level of saturation when you're in gameplay. That's like looking at a cinematic sequence from Uncharted and being like, oh, the entire game's going to be like that. No, there are sequences that are like that. There are cutscenes that are like that. But the whole game's not like that. There are plenty of games where the trailer isn't showing you gameplay. For Pete's sakes, look at Fable. How many times did we have that painfully stupid argument about how I kept telling people that's not gameplay? Yes, it is. You're just hating. And then they finally release pre-alpha gameplay, and it looks nothing like the simulated gameplay in the trailer. How do we not know the same thing's going on with GTA 6, and they're just showing you like in-engine cinematically driven sequences where everything can be post-rendered because it's like it's basically a video. It's not actually you moving around in the game. It can be totally pre-rendered, which means it's not actually having to do it raw and in the game, which means it can be doing things that you're never going to see in the game. Red Dead 2 was on the PS4. GTA 5 came out when the 780 Ti was hot crap. That's a billion years ago in technology. We're not even considering, we're not considering so many things. There's upscaling that they can tap into. There's new rendering methods. You can turn off the lighting stuff. Like, we're ignoring all of those advances, and we're acting like they're still developing a game with constraints of 12 years ago. I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. I think the logic is poor. I do. I think the logic is poor. I think Digital Foundry is excellent at breaking down a game at a technical level and telling you, here's the pixel count, here's the ray tracing, here's what this is doing with this, and this is why this is having a dither effect, and this is why this is having a shimmer effect, and blah, blah, blah. But the minute they get into predictions, I find them to be not as good as they are at their breakdowns. I feel like their predictions have been lacking. They had all kinds of predictions about Xbox versus PlayStation this gen, and they were wrong. Why? Because they lacked information. They didn't have it in their hands. Like, it's like Alex from Digital Foundry saying the PS5 Pro isn't necessary. We haven't really tapped into the full power of the PS5. Does he still think that when he sees the comparison of performance modes of PS5 to Pro? They look like different games. You're describing it as a generational leap. Does he still think that? He seemed to think that the Pro wasn't needed, and now your outfit's calling it a generational leap. Do you see? They're good at the analysis. They're good at the breakdowns. Their predictive powers have been consistently lacking this gen. They have. They've been consistently lacking. I don't think their predictive powers are at the same level of their tech breakdown powers. Their tech breakdown powers are excellent. I think they're very reliable in that field. Trill with a $5 super chat. If Cyberpunk, a game that has a massive open world, dense complex systems with tons of NPCs that a given can run on a base PS5, why can't GTA 6 do the same thing? And you made some confetti. Thank you so much, Trill, for doing that. That bumps the line to 405. That's me. We're now a 20 bomb away from 425, and I'll owe you guys a 10 bomb. I've been kind of holding off. If somebody wants to take the bait and drop that 20 bomb, I'll smack a 10 bomb right on top of it. And somebody ordered some coffee. Jom ordered 2 bags of light roast. We got people ordering soda using the soda command, a brand new partnership that we have with Sprecher. They have Assassin's Creed Shadows cans. And excited to work with them. I've liked all of them except for the Green River. That one wasn't, it's like their version of Sprite, and it looks cool, but we didn't like that one as much. We liked the cherry cola, the cream soda, the orange cream, and I don't even like root beer, and I liked their root beer. That says a lot, I think. They base their predictions off the hardware specs. Xbox Series X is more powerful than PS5, and yet the vast majority of third-party games run better on the PS5. We don't have enough information about what Rockstar has achieved internally at an engine level. We have no information to posture as if they haven't made a single breakthrough. They haven't figured out a single thing. We don't know if they're working with Sony on PSSR implementation to assist with some of the stuff y'all are talking about. Look at the difference between Dragon's Dogma 2 base PS5 and on the Pro. Look at the difference. And we had people saying, we're going back to 30 FPS. The consoles aren't strong enough. And they were able to patch Dragon's Dogma 2 and boost the frame rate, and then they were able to get the PS5 Pro version to run at the lowest. It's like in the 50s in like the worst area. All I know is this. I've sat in this chair for the entire gen, and I've had these conversations, and I've been told time and time again that 30 FPS is coming back. It'll be the new norm. The consoles aren't strong enough. Yep, these games are just going to be stuck at 30 FPS. And time again, that narrative has dashed on the rocks. Starfield somehow figured it out. Redfall somehow figured it out. Plague Tale Requiem somehow figured it out. Even Dragon's Dogma 2 has gotten close to figuring it out on base, but it practically runs at 60 the entire time on the Pro. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I think these predictions are poor predictions because it's been a consistent misfire this gen. We had all kinds of weird hand-waving and excuse-making about Starfield. And then we had the same thing said about Dragon's Dogma 2. I'm not arguing about the results. I'm saying Silicon is so similar except for a few accelerator choices. I'm not sure what you guys are talking about. I've come to terms that if GTA 6 runs at 60 on the Pro, it will not look like the trailers at all. It'll be a downgrade level like Watch Dogs. The trailer is insane for GTA 6. When they watched the high-definition version of the trailer, Digital Foundry's tune really changed. And they said that they saw a lot of the rendering gremlins, and it became more believable. Isn't that interesting? Isn't it interesting? That they went from one trailer to the more high-def version so they could see more clearly, and their opinion changed. That's interesting. More information, more data changed what they thought. I think we could be facing the exact same scenario when the game finally comes out. I think they're going to be like, oh, they figured out how to do X, Y, and Z, and they were able to do this. Both of the games are not based in modern cities, like cities with much larger crowds. That's where I track with them. I do think Trill's point is the best retort. I didn't see what Trill said. I don't even see Trill in chat. You guys with all these meme names. Oh, Trill's retort about Cyberpunk. Right, we don't know. A Rockstar dev could sit down right now and say, we came up with a solution for NPC density so we can simulate density without creating these crazy bottlenecks. That sentence alone would change this entire discussion. Just something like that. Yeah, we figured out a way to where only within a certain viewpoint or draw distance is the NPC density actually firing. We figured out a way to do it so that the game feels full of life and there's people everywhere, but what's really happening is they're not there unless you're there. You see what I'm saying? Just a breakthrough like that alone would change this entire discussion. We have such a small amount of information. And I think that, again, this feels very much like people getting ahead of themselves on, oh, we're headed back to 30 FPS land. Oh, the consoles aren't strong enough. Oh, the Series S is going to run circles around the PS5. And oh, the Series X is going to be outperforming the PS5. None of that came true. None of it. Don't you see? It's like, why are we buying into these predictions again when the batting average is so bad? It's like, no, this time, this is the prediction that's going to be a home run. Okay. I've seen nothing but strikeouts on this conversation this entire gen, but sure, this time they're going to hit the ball. All right. Okay. The game Solaris is having scaling issues because each unit of population on each planet was calculated individually. To figure out how to calculate individuals in groups for better performance. If GTA is releasing this year, its odds were so left in the dark. Perhaps if it's bumped to 2026, perhaps 60 could be an option. They're not going to bump it that much. And a 50 bomb from MASH says, I'll give you 60 frames. How about 55? 455. Holy mackerel. I owe you guys 10, 15. I owe you 15. Somebody could daisy chain with him right now. A 20 bomb to 475. I'll tag team with you and I'll drop a 20 bomb. Somebody do it. I'm right there. I mean, it's perfect setup. Let's just obliterate chat together. Somebody pick it up and do it before MASH does. Somebody pick it up and do it. Let's tag team the 20 bomb. It's a perfect layup. It's a perfect setup. 475's 20 away. It'll be me owing 20. Let's just do it. Let's just scream towards higher member counts. Let's get more and more people in here. Listen, if you guys haven't hit like yet, do me a favor and hit the like button. We've been streaming for 2 hours, having a great time, great conversation, talking about all kinds of different things in the gaming news. We will be playing Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay on the PS5 Pro. I'm probably actually going to schedule that now for 1. Oh, dadgummit, MASH. And a 20 bomb from MASH. He says, I'll do it myself. And I now owe you guys a 20, and we're just going to obliterate chat together. Thank you so much, MASH. You maniac. Won't be here tomorrow. Take care. Well, thank you, MASH, for all that you do, man. Seriously. You're nuts. You are nuts. And a 5 bomb comes in from Alex and gets us to 480. Alex setting up another 20 bomb dunker to 500, trying to bait somebody. Rez says, how have you been? So I've been in the market for a PC handheld. What are your thoughts on the Legion Go? I've not interacted with the handhelds enough to give you opinion. You'd probably want to go to another channel for that, like somebody that's their area of expertise. And Gambit Zero with the 20 bomb to 500, and we're now working on stretch. I don't even have a stretch for you guys this week. I really don't. I don't even know what we could do. It'd have to be something IRL. It'd have to be something IRL. I didn't have a little picture down here because we are doing a little quick overnight, and there it is, Agent of Chaos from Sir Lightning Storm, and Joker Quinn trying to do the Agent of Chaos and got beat just a second by Sir Lightning Storm. How much to get a full ASMR soda mic crack? And a 20 bomb from Quintar. We got a 20 bomb train starting. MASH did it, then Gambit did it. It is going. Holy mackerel. I did it as well. We got so many gifteds coming in. Wait, did I miss Wired Ropes 5 bomb? I think I missed Wired Ropes 5 bomb. Wait. Yeah, I did. Wired Rope did a 5 bomb that I didn't call out. My bad, Wired Rope. Let me add that. And a 5 bomb from Alex. That gets us to 532. My goodness. Every Friday, you guys lose your dadgum minds. Everyone has green names now. It's true. It is so true. Listen, the generosity of these people gifting is how I'm able to do this full time. It really is true. And we have really wanted to sort of shift the sands on this, right? We threw in at the same time. Yeah, I got you. I was like, I felt like I missed one. If you guys enjoy this show, if you guys enjoy what I do Monday through Friday, really consider picking up a Member Plus membership so you're no longer on gifted. And a 5 bomb comes in from Mike Beckett. The culture here is so generous. It really is. We want to see people who cannot afford a membership getting those member tiers. There's always a couple thousand of you getting those gifteds every month, and we're so pleased with that. But we want to make sure that we are supporting our fellow members here. All right, AC Shadows gameplay. There we go. Gaming news. Playlist. No. And boom. And boom and boom and boom. Okay. I'm going to schedule this gameplay, and I can always tell when the Chrome's going to crash. I can hear the fans spin up. And Sir Lightning Storm gifts a member and gets us to 538. Thank you so much. All right, hang on. I'm scheduling the gameplay public for 1. And a £5 super chat from SEO. I will try to get the Funfetti train going then. Well, thank you for doing that. And Legend renews the VIP membership and gets us to 539. Upgrades count as 2. So if you guys upgrade to a Member Plus or a VIP, it counts as 2. And then it supports me directly. For the cost of a cup of coffee a month, you can support this channel directly. And a lot of you guys have been ordering the coffee, which is amazing. A lot of you have been ordering the soda, a brand new partnership that we have with Sprecher, and we really appreciate that. It's so good to kind of impress a new sponsor like that. Lowe's going to have to do an event soon. Already have an event. We have to do an IRL stream, but we're going to a wedding this Saturday, so I can't do the one that we had planned, which was the IRL, like reverse here. I was going to show people how to do reverse here. But I could do an IRL while we're traveling. I would just have to be careful to like not show where we are, like just to like connect with the members and hang out as a way to say thanks for this week, because you guys have gone crazy again. Garrett said, Look at I Am Mr. McCoy argument that GTA would only release at 30. Probably the best argument that it only releases at 30. That would suck. I hope it doesn't happen. Well, where is he in chat? I got to click on his name. Has he spoken recently? Because I got to be able to see his chat log history. If he chimes in chat and says hello or something, you should do commentary for fighting game tournaments. You have the perfect hype man voice. I've done professional level shoutcasting before. I don't know enough about fighting games to do it, though. Rockstar will release GTA 6 at 30. Then at the start of the next gen, we'll get a definitive edition at 60. If it'll have performance mode at launch, it'll be hard to justify a new release. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I know they like to get the double dip going. So, I know they like to get the double dip going, but I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah, I don't know the fighting game lingo. I did a lot of shoutcasting. I did it professionally for Fortnite a handful of times. And then I started looking into others as well. I don't agree either. I just think it's the best argument for it. Yeah, I just don't think. I do think that if there is a company that can get away with that kind of shenanigans, it's GTA, right? I will agree with that. Like the people that are worried that they're going to charge $100, and they're like, well, if there's a company that could get away with it, I have a hard time arguing against that. Now, the reason I don't think they're going to sell the game at $100 is because I think that they will be able to get $100 versions sold a whole lot easier by just having like premium editions. You know what I mean? I think that they'll just do it that way. They will just let people buy like a premium edition where you get like a cool car or like a cool outfit or something. I don't think you need to do this like sort of, we're now charging $100 for the base game. I don't think that they would I really don't think that they would get away with that personally. Amount paid, amount pending. I wonder if they ever, I don't know. I was looking to see, we've been with Gamer Advantage for a while, and I was just seeing, I don't know if I've ever been paid by them, now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, no, I did. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Yeah, it's a similar back end to the Sprecher partnership. It's possible, but hopefully they will get out at 60. If they do it, it's more likely PC. They won't have to wait long. Otherwise, they'd make us wait for the PS6 version. I mean, Strauss Zelnick seemed to make it sound like GTA 6 was going to be coming to PC faster. It's more of a priority for them this time. So they value the subbase more. Once they get millions of players, GTA Online, they'll start making money hand over fist. They may split up story and online, 60 for the story, 40 for online. They do sell online for Red Dead separately. I know that it's not going to ship with GTA Online, according to everything that we've heard. It won't ship with it. It will come later as a mode. You think they're going to charge money for it? The Dark Odyssey Collection is now live in God of War Ragnarok on PlayStation 4, 5, and PC. Download the latest patch to get armor and appearance for Kratos, companion armor for Atreus and Freya, weapon appearances and attachments, shield appearances. Whew. That's pretty hot. That is pretty hot, dude. They sold online as a separate game for cheaper for Red Dead 2, but I could see them potentially doing something like that. I don't think they're going to do that with GTA, because I think you want as many people in the GTA funnel as possible. Right? I don't think you would want to put a barrier in between. I don't think you'd want to put a barrier in between people in GTA Online, GTA 6 Online. If GTA 6 had a co-op mode with the two characters, would you play Bonnie and Clyde style with Madam? I think that'd be a blast. Yeah, I think it would. We've got dual monitor setup here in the studio now, so we can play co-op games like Returnal for you guys, or in that case, GTA. I don't know if they're going to add co-op, though. I don't think they will. Kratos is like, don't worry, AC Shadows. I'll get the heat off you. Check out my... Oh, it's not that. GTA Online already can be purchased separate. So how much does it cost to buy GTA Online separate? Wait. If you buy GTA 5, didn't you just get the online mode later? Or did you have to buy the online mode later? I understand you can buy it separate, but if you bought GTA 5, did they not just give you online as an update later? Yeah, you got online with it. Yeah, I think they're going to do the same thing. GTA 6 will just get the online mode added later, but if you just want to buy online separate, you can. You won't have to buy the full game. I think they'll do the same thing. I think they'll do the same thing. I don't think you want to keep people out of the online funnel. They make tons of money. They make tons of money in the online. I don't think you would want to close people off from that. Now they have the GTA Plus subscription. It's just the option to buy it if you don't want to buy or play the campaign. They didn't add online as its own purchase till years later for GTA 5, though. Oh, really? Yeah, I mean, I would imagine keeping it behind the official paywall of the full game. All right, off to the airport. Take care. All right, take care, MASH. Yeah, I think that I would imagine they would do it the same way. Guys, if you haven't hit like yet, hit like. Try to get us to 400. That's the next milestone. Be really, really easy to hit that. There's so many of you here, man. Thanks for another strong day on the channel. Lots of members, lots of likes, and we will be playing Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay in about 30 minutes. If you're interested, I will be playing on the Pro. I do stream at a high bit rate, and we do stream on AV1, so we don't have a lot of the compression that you will see in a lot of streams of gameplay. Sometimes it can be really, really hard to see. Apparently Assassin's Creed Shadows is not play anywhere as stated. I didn't realize. Did somebody say it was? Go ahead and play on quality mode and get yourself ready. Shut the frick up. Shut up, Omar. Don't the question? Did you submit a question? Yeah, guys, as members, remember that you can use the question command if you want your question featured. Instead of just asking it in chat, you can have Nightbot grab it and throw it up like this. And I understand about the complaint about AC Shadows, but is Japanese Parliament hating AC Shadows because of the history? This is a complete non-story, and people are really misrepresenting what happened. The Prime Minister spoke to people actually vandalizing shrines and said that they would take action if that happened. They are not taking any action against Ubisoft or AC Shadows. These grifters and these liars out here are absolutely misrepresenting that. That is not what's going on. He was not stating in any way, shape, or form that they were planning on taking action against Ubisoft or AC Shadows. People are just lying. He was basically saying, if this game encourages people to go damage shrines, we will take action against that. The people damaging the shrines, in real life, not in a video game. You bunch of weirdos. It's a fictional. It's not real. It isn't real. You can murder people. Been moving the past week. Found my OG Say No to Rage t-shirt. I've got some old ones that I've almost worn. I've almost worn them just as a... like, I'm still here. I'm still here, mother... I've got an old one I've got an old one that goes hard too. Like I actually liked the branding before. I went through a rebrand where it got more like into like a pinkish color, and it's just black, red, white, splatter paint. It was sick. It was sick. I liked that branding better than the second rebrand. The second rebrand, he had done too much, and it was like it was too comprehensive for me to like have him redo it all. So I was like, all right, fine. If I have the old logo, do you have the OG? You have the black and red. Yeah, that was a good shirt. That was a really, really good shirt. I don't even know if there's a picture of it anywhere. I don't know if there's like any ghosts in the machine out there that like would have like a picture of it from back then, because all those shops are gone. All those shops and all that merch is gone. No, sadly, not that you would want to buy it, but I thought it would be cool just to look at it. I've got one upstairs hanging in my closet. There, yeah, I can't find a good picture. I pay in high cost, Lono, if I order outside. You wasn't a fan of the pink. I wasn't a fan of the pink either. He insisted that it was it was a good holistic treatment. So, speaking of that, Goth replied and asked why people still engage with you. Because I create content that people like would be the answer to that question. I suppose I could ask the same thing about him. Hanging in the back of his closet like a bloody jacket at the end of Brokeback Mountain. Oh, you still have the mic shirt. Yeah, dude. The microphone was dope. The microphone was dope. Yeah. You should wear it one day. I mean, I could. They were pissed about them using actual shrines from IRL in the game and letting them be destructible. Okay. Like, there are... How many Assassin's Creed games are there where you get to climb buildings that are considered, like, sacred, and you kill people in those locations? Do you ever think about that? That, like, this isn't something new to the franchise, that, like, you go to historical locations and do things that, like, would be seen as kind of, like, reprehensible? Like, climbing on the side of a sacred building, or, you know, famous, or... you know, place held in reverence, like fighting the Pope. It's a cultural thing. Just because we're okay with it doesn't mean they are. But again, it's fiction in a total work of fiction. Why would it matter? They've been doing this for a very long time. Poe was shooting thunderbolts out of his hands. Yeah, like there's DLC for one of the Assassin's Creed where they make George Washington a king. I don't know. I'm not offended, but I understand why people could be. Taking offense is a choice. Taking offense is a choice. And I think if you're going to take offense at something, there should be a lot more to it than, oh, you can destroy a shrine in a fictional video game. I just think there's a much higher barrier that should be required for somebody taking offense. That just feels very... It's almost like manufactured fragility. It's like everybody's manufacturing this fragility where we're all walking on eggshells, where it's like, oh no, a fictional video game where we go to historical locations and do things that might be seen as disrespectful in a video game where you're an assassin that murders people. Like... It's like, just, I don't know. It just seems super convenient pearl clutching. Japanese government got involved? No, it did not. That is a lie. They were asked about it and said if anybody destroyed real shrines, if like the game inspired people to go destroy real shrines, they would take action. That would be like saying, hey, in this game, you can climb on top of the Capitol building. What if somebody's inspired to do that? And the U.S. government would be like, listen, we'll take decisive action if somebody tries to do that. Oh, the U.S. government's going against this video game. That's not what happened. There is nothing about this that is warranting any of the discussion or selective outrage. It's totally manufactured. And my biggest problem with it is so much of this is propagated by disenfranchised white dudes in America. Like, it's not a bunch of people that are actually living there and find it to be, a problem. It's propagated by a bunch of, angry white men. It's just annoying. The whole thing is annoying. We're manufacturing fragility here, and we're taking up for people that probably don't even give a frick. They're like, we don't care about that. Eugene says they can be offended. I don't care they're offended. If someone's genuinely offended by it, I'm not going to tell them what they should feel, but I'm going to say that seems awfully easy to be offended because there are countless games that go to historical locations where you can do all kinds of things. How many Assassin's Creeds up to now where you're killing people in places that are sacred and considered like holy, and you're killing people in these locations? And all of a sudden now, after how long has the franchise been in existence, and now all of a sudden it's a problem? Oh, okay. I'm sorry you feel that way, right? Yeah, you can shut it and then put it on the chair. How many games have destroyed this building? Yeah. In Japan, there's been an uptick of nuisance instances from tourists, so it makes sense that someone would bring up the issue. Oh, for sure. For sure. You've got these knucklehead streamers that are going to other countries and getting themselves in some hot water. These countries don't mess around. They're not there for you to turn them into some kind of a joke. The one guy's like locked up, isn't he? He got locked up, acting like a fool somewhere, wasn't he? I forget where he was. Was it Korea or somewhere? So yeah, I get why they would be worried that like some doofus American streamer is going to show up and be like, "Hey guys, I'm going to act out what we did in the video game," and they'll be like, "The heck you are," and then they'll lock you up. Which is exactly what they should do. It's just a video game. Nobody should be doing that. These people that do their IRL streams in other countries, like and make a bunch of they're trying to be disruptive and obnoxious. Those people 100% should be kicked out of those countries. Just get them out. Get them out of there. Don't let them in if that's what they're gonna do. I think if you do what like iShowSpeed does, I think that's fine. What he does is like celebratory and excited, and he's just there to have a good time. He's not messing with people. He's not trying to like pick fights and stuff. I think what Speed does is good. I think he's getting ready to do his Asia tour. I think he is so smart. I think what he's doing is brilliant. He's turned himself into a global celebrity, which is just, think about that. I'm being told that the epic weapon, from the soda can is really good. We're hearing from other creators. I was just told that it's really sick. Does anybody know why the FPS drops to 30 at the hideout in AC Shadows? It's because they turn on all the ray tracing. They turn on the reflective surfaces, which the minute you do that, even on the Pro, everything goes to 30. You're a fellow Tampa man? No, my wife is from Tampa. Would you be down to stream together one of these days? I'm trying to network and meet other content creators. Right now we're at 70K on Twitch, 129K on IG. Those are respectable followings. I don't know what kind of concurrence you pull, but I'm in Louisville, Kentucky. So we would have to try to do something the next time that I'm down there. We were just down there in February. No one complained about AC Origins sliding down pyramids, jumping off them to assassinate kings and clergymen, but suddenly there's a black samurai and suddenly everybody's clutching their pearls. Yeah, it's manufactured outrage. Manufactured fragility. We can always dual stream online. You can't stream with me on Twitch until I get reinstated. I'm trying to get reinstated over there. I'm going to need somebody to give me a warm handshake to Dan Clancy. He's too busy. I've had him back and forth with me in a few emails, and my appeal has been pending for months now, and nobody knows why. Somebody told me that the safety team, the moderation team, had a bunch of layoffs, and so maybe they're just really understaffed. So we'll see. What happened? I got canceled 5 years ago over a bunch of bogus nonsense. Didn't know you're Louisville, Northern Kentucky near Covington. Oh, nice. Like I said before, nobody gave a crap when in AC2 they used World War II as a Templar plot point where the Americans were helping this guy help take over Europe. Yeah, again, it's, oh my gosh, like it's historical fiction. Like, let me ask you this. If they did historical fiction where you went into a place and you desecrated shrines because you were a bad guy. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, you could do that in a game. I mean, goodness gracious, like in Ghost of Tsushima, the Mongols come in and do terrible things. Nobody sees that and is like, yep, that's great. It's a story. My Asian homeboy said that Yasuke was in their history books. Yeah, but I picked up a samurai book. It was called The Seven Symbols or The Seven Rings or something when I was at Half Price Books with my daughter. And what's his name? Nobunaga? He was listed in there too. Like, there's enough there to piece this together. There really is. We make jokes about and depict Jesus in comedic ways. Go and do that to Muhammad and see how people who practice Islam respond. I think you would get strong. I think you would get strong response and anger from a lot of people if you do that. There's people that get really angry about depicting Jesus in nasty ways. I don't. I want you to be able to do it. I want you to have the freedom to do it. I could say that it's gross and in poor taste or disrespectful or, unkind, but I want you to be free to say it. If someone was destroying Christian, Muslim, Buddhist, or any religious icons, they can get mad. Don't expect me to care. If it was in a work of fiction, I don't get bothered by it. I don't care. Like, why would I be? Like if you went to like famous, Christian locations in a game and you were able to destroy the buildings or desecrate the buildings, I'd be like, I don't care. It's fiction. Who cares? Whoops, I turned my flashlight on. Hang on. I'm getting ring notifications. The real question is, before you wrote the story or the game, did you ask a shrine? Huh. Remember, they had you fight the Pope in AC2. That's what I'm just going to keep coming back to. That's what I'm just going to keep coming back to is that if we're going to be selective, then I don't really care. You know? If you're going to try and contort your body and, like, funhouse mirror logic this up and, like, make it seem like, well, this is okay, but this is not okay. I don't know. Okay. Nobody really should take you seriously then. Remember, Lono, no Russian. I was pointing out they had it occur. No, I'm agreeing with you, Mandela. I'm agreeing with you. Like, this franchise in particular, there's a long-standing history of the game taking you to historical places and you doing something that would be considered pretty reprehensible. Killing somebody in a religious location, a sacred location, a holy place, like, that's not something that you would celebrate, but it's in the games. You do it. You do it. That's what I mean. It's like you're not. I don't find people being. They're not being consistent. I don't think you can be consistent. I think you'd have to go to war against every single game that has ever existed or that will ever exist. If every single time there's a historical location, included, you have to act like the game's got to walk on eggshells. I killed a ton of monks in Valhalla. It was glorious. Adam King says, as somebody with a disability who's seen piss poor portrayals in media, literally all you have to do is approach the topic with respect. Seems like Ubi did that here regarding Japanese culture. Well, it sounds like they tried to fix some things, and even now they're removing it. Like you can't what's it called? You can't desecrate the shrines now. They're taking that ability away from you. So because of that, I don't think they're like ignoring it. I also don't think they're like, bending over to the whims of the mob. I just think they're being smart. Like they're really taking your ability to criticize the game away. They're like, no, you can't. You can't do that now. And if you can't do it, it's you take the wind out of their sails. Oh, you can desecrate religious sites. Well, guess what? Anybody who uploads those clips, people are going to be like, no, you can't. You can't do that. They patched that out. You're taking some of their power away. Jason West says, Lono, Mr. VIP 600 here. Great show, but what? I think it's a little self-sabotage to get politicians in other countries mad about gaming fiction because they don't know or understand games. We risk them banning stuff. Right, this idea that like you're trying to save games when you're actively an enemy of the games. Like you're actively creating context in which games could be, like you're saying, like censored or banned, because your fifis are hurt that a man's skin is dark. Like, you know what I mean? Like these bedwetters don't realize that you're gonna bring the wrong attention to games in the wrong regions, and you're not gonna like the results. You aren't. Some of these governments won't hesitate to censor things and to block things, and again, they won't do the due diligence. They won't do the due diligence and the research. They'll just ban stuff. You can't do destructive environments and then say, no, not this thing. Hang on. I gotta change the chat or Chrome's gonna crash. Fake walls around fake environments is wild to me. Yeah, no, Hilly, I've tried to drive that home, that the Japanese prime minister was not taking issue with it being in the game. He was saying, if this happens in real life, basically like if somebody's inspired by your ability to do this in this game, we take that very seriously. And I think any government would say that. If there was, like I said, if there was a video game that like let you climb or do something, vandalize the Capitol building or something, and the U.S. government said, listen, we take that seriously. If anybody's inspired by this game to actually do that to the Capitol building, we will take that very seriously. That wouldn't be like the U.S. government saying we're not okay with this game. You know what I mean? Yeah, he said stuff, but I don't think it'll ever happen. It's too many really big companies make a ton of money making these games, so I don't think that would ever work. We will take this very seriously, and then pardon me. In 10 minutes, guys, we're going to be switching gears here to go play Assassin's Creed Shadows on the PS5 Pro. There were teenagers literally getting up on top of subways and surfing them. We have to take into consideration the stupidity of the common person. I mean, the TikTok challenges, people were dying. There was the one where people were jumping out of moving boats, and they didn't realize that you can break your neck doing that. Thank you guys for continuing to use the soda command. If you guys haven't done so already, I'll show you the item you can get with the Sprecher Assassin's Creed Shadows root beer cans. They also have a whole lot of other flavors, and we did partner with them. You can use my code or my link in chat. It actually looks better like that. There we go. There are plenty of controls in open world games, though. Let's not act like you have total freedom in AC games. Yeah, I don't care. I'm not like, oh man, you're taking my ability away to destroy the shrines. I don't care. If people are having their ability to grift and hate on the game weakened and taken away, I'm all for that. What are your thoughts on the PS5 Pro since you've been with it for a while? So far, I love mine, but I just hate when the new games come out and they forget to do a PS5 Pro Enhanced. Well, I think that's going to go down with time, because I think more and more games are listen to the one developer talk about Shadows. He was like, we really gave this special treatment, and they haven't even added PSSR. That's coming later, according to the developer, on Twitter, who's worked on AC Shadows. So I think going forward, you'll see more and more games arrive enhanced. Like Doom the Dark Ages is going to be enhanced. Indiana Jones will probably be. It's not listed on the store yet, I don't think. But I think more and more people are just going to naturally do it because they like it. It's fun. They like to add more. It's good for your marketing. I've not touched it yet, Wooly. I've not touched it yet. So I think that will go down. And I actually think that the PS5 Pro has continued to prove itself. Like, all of the false narratives about it have been completely shattered. I don't know how you can look at the digital breakdown from any of the sites that do it and not say, wow, people were really running false narratives on this thing. Like, it is objectively doing what it promised. Like, it's undeniable. It's like you can't act like it's a scam or a joke, or like it's not doing what it was supposed to do, or it's weak, or I don't think you could claim that. I think it's obvious that people jumped the gun, right? And listen, I said this when the PS5 Pro stuff was coming out. What did I say? I said people are getting ahead of themselves. The thing is not in the wild yet. Nobody has it, and people are getting ahead of themselves. It's a minor improvement, not worth the upgrade. No, that's completely untrue. Digital Foundry called it a generational leap. What you're saying is not true. I mean, the fact that you get global illumination and you get your frames doubled. If you turn on global illumination on the base PS5, you have 30 FPS. You can turn on global illumination on the Pro and it doubles your frames. You're at 60. That's a generational leap. That's a huge leap. I want you to imagine right now, you're on a PC and you're playing with global illumination turned on and you got it running at a good resolution and it's running at 30. And then you upgrade your system to be at 60. That's a huge jump for your PC. For most games, buddy. Wow, this conversation is going to go really well. Buddy. What do you mean for most games it doesn't matter? Space Marine 2 looked incredible. The image quality was better. It was crisper. The frame rate was more stable than the base PS5. What you're saying, I think, is absurd. It's so clear that they are giving you a ton of great bumps in a bunch of games. Like, motion blur is disabled, screen shake is disabled. Yeah, I want that on. Motion reduction. Yeah. I prefer having my PC. So, this probably isn't worth it, but we should probably point out that even on your PC, there are plenty of games that somebody could say it isn't worth it. Right? Not every game taps into or is great or is perfectly optimized, or right? Like, didn't you just invalidate buying like a really high-end PC? Like, your logic doesn't seem to work. Like, it doesn't feel like your logic works. It feels like you've selectively decided to act like this is some kind of a wasted purchase. Well, then why on earth would you buy anything high end for PC? Because there are plenty of games that don't even utilize it. I'm just saying it's not worth it. I have a base PS5. I don't see the investment. It's not worth it. Okay. Another PC owner with a base PS5 that doesn't think the Pro is worth it. Okay. Agree to disagree? There's no agree to disagree here. You're a consumer that has decided it's not worth it to you. That doesn't apply to everybody else. That's not objective. It's not. So you can access all the... Oh, this is the Animus. This is actually pretty cool. Hang on, let me get it on screen for you guys. So you can access, through the Animus, all of the previous games. There's my man right there. Not all the previous games. Sorry. A chunk of them. In Canada, buying a Pro would cost me $1,100. Yeah, and I think that's fine. I think you're perfectly within your right to say that for me, you're in a spot where the jump in price would be too significant. I think that's 100% fair. Right? Like, you've established that where you live, the price to jump up is too great, and again, you've already got your PC as well. Just trade in your old PS5. It's still going to be quite a big jump for him. It's still going to be a pretty big jump. And I appreciate that. I think that's totally fine for somebody to say that this is too expensive. This jump in price is too much for me to justify the jumps that we're seeing. Hang on. I'm making sure that this thing is ready to go. Controller interface. Invert aiming. Oops, invert aiming. Audio, interface, gameplay, video. Area loot is off. Choose whether to collect all nearby loot with a single button press instead of collecting them individually. Yeah, I want that on. I want that on. We're on performance. We could probably turn off chromatic aberration. Okay. Super thing trying to downplay better hardware while simultaneously advocating for better hardware shows a lack of self-awareness that cannot be understated. I bought it pre-built when the price was good before the 50 series was announced. Now it's bad. Why does Ubisoft insist on adding steps to their games, pop-ups, menus? Yeah, their attempts to always get you to go to like use Uplay, I think, has always been irritating. I've never liked that. So much clutter. Well, I'm going to hand out. I don't want any spoilers. They should add a woke slider. They really, really should. They really, really should. Okay. Guys, if you haven't done so already, man, smash that like button. It really, really helps. We need 25 more likes. Let's end with 400. That would be incredible. And we are going to be switching to gameplay. Now, I know sometimes you guys are like, oh, I don't want spoilers. I don't want spoilers. Even if you hang out for like 20 or 30 minutes, I don't think you're going to get a bunch of spoilers. So even if you only hang out for 30 minutes, it's like super helpful to me in what we do here to not have a bunch of people just like immediately bail when we do gameplay. I understand. Though, if you feel like you don't want to stay, Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay. Also, keep in mind, we will be doing a co-stream of the Future Game Show this afternoon. So make sure you have your notifications turned to all and not personalized. So that way you don't miss. That co-stream. Those are always really, really fun streams with you guys. We are one of the official co-streams of that event. Okay. The prologue's not too spoilery. Usually, yeah, they're not. Like, you're not. I don't feel like you're going to see anything that's like ruining the experience. And Alex rounds us out to 540. He puts us a 10 bomb away from 550. I think at 550, I'll owe you guys another 10. Thank you so much, Alex. All right, I'm going to put an announcement in here. Peachy Creamy gifts a member as well. Gets us to 241. I'm going to be spamming a link in chat in just a second. We do need to double check something. Okay. And Peachy with a 5 bomb gets us to 546. Thank you so much. Holy mackerel. So much generosity lately on the channel. Can't say it enough. We're only able to do this because of you guys and what you do supporting the channel directly. This is why we've been calling on folks No green room this time I can actually watch. Yes, when we don't go to green room and we do gameplay, you get to keep hanging out. That's a great reason to sign up for Member Plus, though, because when we do go to the green room, your day doesn't end. If you cannot afford a membership, it is $6 a month, which is basically a cup of coffee every month, but you get into an extra show every single day. If you can't afford it, hopefully you get it gifted. We do lots of gifting here. Can I get 10 more likes on the video? I am going to spam a link in chat. Guys, do me a favor. Come over and hang out for at least 15 or 20 minutes. You're not going to see any major spoilers. When you get over there, smash the like button. It really, really helps me out. I am going to redirect you. Redirect is not super reliable, so click the link in chat instead. You lurkers, wake up, take a quick second, pull your phone out of your pocket, do whatever you got to do, and click the link in chat to ensure that you head over to the gameplay stream and hang out for a little bit, smash like and all the things, okay? Thank you so much for checking out this video. If you're watching this later, this will be me diving in brand new, fresh, haven't touched it yet, Assassin's Creed Shadows on the PS5 Pro. I will be playing at AV1 compression as well as a higher bitrate, so it should look very, very good. If you've been kind of curious what it looks like, there's some great breakdowns out there, but this is going to be a live stream and my live reaction. I'm very much looking forward to it. I kind of skipped some of the opening Animus stuff that I don't think is that important. It is now in the sort of Assassin's Creed Infinity hub. You can like pick through the different games. I'm going to end the previous stream and redirect folks over, and I will change that thumbnail because we're no longer live over there, and I'm just going to let this opening sequence